wally defense.
It's Primi on the tail.
I know. I wanted to point out Primi is now becoming a flex player. He is now playing an initiator. He's on the tail. He's not on a duelist. He's not on a sentinel.
That's
Then
exciting.
on the Yoru, paired up with Cruz.
Hello.
Cruz was gonna play Teo, to be honest.
Welcome.
So they've definitely cooked something up. Are you guys?
Welcome to episode 2 of our 2025 season retrospective breakdown. I had a lot of fun doing yesterday's game, so I'm excited to watch this one today.
They've definitely seen the split comp before. Playing this Teo against that double sentinel, you have a lot of stuff to break that util. This seems like a deliberate plan to come into split.
Well, I am very excited for this matchup again. We have not seen Talon yet, and we saw Global Esports have a really great showing, a really strong start, even with I don't even know if I should call him a sub with Darion there, but they've been playing really well.
How are my audio levels today? I adjusted a couple things. Let me know if my voice is too loud or too low.
Chobra to take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, Quack and Chobra here for the first match of the night. Talon versus GE, the desk broke down, all the history, the players and whatnot. But right now we got to focus on this team composition. The Teo coming out, not too shocking. But who's playing it is maybe the surprising part.
Yeah, and you actually had a really interesting point about that, but one thing I am noticing, though, is that they're not playing with a Sentinel. So that means, they're looking for more of these rounds on the attacking side.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, personally, I think especially with Teo coming out, maybe Vice and Deadlock, obviously that combination is...
Okay, before we get into the map, I want to just talk about the comps real quick. What's up, What's up, Primus? How are you? Yeah, so I want to talk about the comps real quick, because I talked to Fraud after this game, and he mentioned that he specifically did this comp against us. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what he said, is that he made this, or he pulled out this comp specifically to try and beat the double Senti. And in theory, I think this is actually completely correct. In my opinion, I think basically the rock, paper, scissors of the meta goes a little bit something like this. Let me pull up Epic Pen real quick so I can write. What's up, Soham? How are you? Where is my pen? Hello? Epic Pen? Hold on. Okay, let's pull this back up. Okay, there we go. So, in my opinion, the rock, paper, scissors goes something like this. You've got double duelist. That's a little bit hard to see. Let's do it in black. Oh, that's also hard to see. Let's do it with bigger. Okay, double duelist. You've got double smokes. You've got double initiator. This is sort of like the 3 pillars of the game that people think about a lot. So, in my opinion, when you have double, and double Senti. Let's double. Whoa. I'd say double smokes / double Senti maybe is kind of the best way to think about it. Just because Viper kind of is a sentinel. But basically, double duelist is generally going to beat this. The reason is because sentinels tend to put a bunch of stuff to stop the duelist, or stop people from getting through the choke points. And the duelist can kind of ignore a lot of that utility or bait it out and then hit the site. And double sentinel comps tend to play a little bit more passively. So the duelist comps can get close to the site and then explode on them from nearby. So double duelist tends to beat double sentinel, in my opinion. Then you've got the double Senti comp versus, let's say, like a double smokes or a double initiator comp. Now, these comps are trying to exec onto site with all of their utility, but a lot of times they're doing it from like kind of far back, supporting a duelist. And that's where I think the double sentinel stuff shines, is because not number one, you can make them burn their utility to try and like get through the smokes or find and kill the utility, which then leaves them with not very much utility to actually hit the site. And so double smokes tends to beat double initiator a lot of the time, or double senti tends to beat double initiator a lot of the time, because they're supporting like one duelist going in, and that's usually not enough power to get through a choke point correctly. Then you've got double initiator, which in my opinion beats double duelist, because double duelist wants to fight and they want to explode, but double initiator also wants to fight and explode, except they have better fighting utility and they have better support for each other. So basically, double duelist should beat the more entrenched sort of like passive comps, which should then beat the comps that sort of rely on gathering information, but don't necessarily have like the best dive to get really deep into sight. And then the double initiator comps should beat the double duelist comps, because double duelist tends to be basically light on utility, but wants to fight, whereas double initiator also wants to fight, but has more utility. So that's kind of how I think about like the rock, paper, scissors of the comps. So Talon bringing out the double duelist comp to combat the double senti comp that we had shown makes a lot of sense on their part. And like I said, when I talked to Frost after the game, I'm like 99% sure I remember him telling me that they specifically wanted to play this comp against our comp. So that's the context for this map. Let's go ahead and just hop into it. We are coming off of a win against Team Secret. We're going up against Talon in the bracket at Kickoff. And actually, I kind of want to go back real quick just to Kickoff to see what this actually looked like. So yeah, here we go. So we beat Team Secret. We're playing Talon next, who were a top 4 team last year, so they were seeded into the next into the quarterfinals. If we were to beat them, we would play up against T1, and then go on from there potentially. So let's go ahead and hop into map number 1.
Is currently on a huge win streak around the world, so I can see those Sentinels, but the traditional Sentinels, they do look like they're losing a bit of their power, and especially with Talon now having Raze, Breach, and then you have the Tail, and then you have the Yora as well with the decoys against the Cypher. I'm just not quite sure how much value Darien will be able to find here on this defense. We're going to see just a very, very standard default setup, just a trip to try to delay them into A main, and then you've got the 2 stars over by B from the Astra. Poppy, once again being tasked with anchoring down a site on his own.
Yeah, possibly the Baron Mash just to block off mid as well, but Talon does start things off a little bit slow.
Just trying to see if there's any type of push out. Obviously, with the double Sentinel and the Astra, there's got to be a lot of delay. So Talon just gauging, is this a stack? Are you trying to delay only on one side? What's going on here? Baron Mesh going to be taken down. Obviously, takes a while on that pistol round, but they still prefer to keep that open, and Poppy gets taken down immediately. And then there's a follow-up in mid as well.
Just on both sides, all of us.
Couple nice picks for Talon to start the map.
To kind of sneak through.
And I love that it's going to be Primy on that tail. The more I think about it, as we see, it's
Darien trying to play in front of his utility. Not super great.
That's all. The Cypher trip's gone as well. Just a fast hit onto A site. And just 2 people.
Turn this down just a little bit.
Just a round done right there and there. Talon going to be leading 1-0.
Almost a flawless pistol. I mean, Baron Cruz, who just fell, but at the same time, that's just so impressive. You start things off a little.
So yeah, good approach from them early on. You can see that they kind of understood, like, you can contact pretty deep against the double senti comp. You don't want to like burn a bunch of utility to take the mains, because usually the Sentinels are not going to be playing in the mains. They're going to be playing for the site.
Love that extra investment.
So we're going to go with a 3-person stack here. Looks like it's going to be a deadlock nade combo potentially.
And now look at the 5-man by 4.
Then we've got the Cypher over here.
As much as possible.
Fade playing in middle, early.
Pockets being destroyed as well with the salvos. And then it's just the judge and close range. Darien, okay, that's a right click, but he's not going to be able to survive for much longer.
And now it's
Darien hits a nice little right click.
They already have the site swarmed, so it's not too bad. Just the judge lost. It's all up to G with some upgraded pistols to try to find their way through.
And now the goal is basically just to do as much damage as possible. We have one sheriff to work with. Not going to do too much.
It's going to be a tough retake. I mean, GE, yeah, it's 4v5. Yes, it's close quarters, it's split, so you could try, but at the same time, you just don't really have much to work with. I wouldn't mind if they just went to the spike, but they're just...
Quick little lore tidbit for you guys. You may notice. What is this classic that Udaton's using? Why is he using the TEC classic? TEC's not a very popular team. The classics, I mean, the classics kind of cool, honestly. I think they kind of cooked with the color scheme. But why would Udaton be using the TEC Classic? Well, the answer is because Udaton's favorite player and his biggest hero is RB, and RB is on TEC at this point.
Yes, it's close quarters, it's split, so you could try, but at the same time, you just don't really have much to work with. I wouldn't mind if they just went to the spike, but they're just going to give away so many ult points, and Talon once again surviving with 4 people.
Yeah, trying to flood.
Okay, so very clean start for Talon.
Not really realizing that it's 4 rifles on top of that judge, right? So Talon's obviously just able to keep their distance. Nice and calm from Darian. You know, Darian obviously had a bit of a slow start last week in their opening match, but he went right back into form later on in the series. See if he's able to keep things up a bit higher from the get-go. Now the matchup.
Okay, first buy round for GE. Pick up the judge. They got double dive agents, so seems like a pretty good idea to have a judge if they're trying to go fast in middle. We're gonna go with, again, just the Senti plus Fade at A, and then Poppy plus Sentinel utility on B, with the potential support from the Raze and the Deadlock from Heaven.
You're just gonna fill that buy of the judge with the Bucky, and it looks like once again just mid. You want to get rid of that wall as soon as possible. I love the salvos.
And you can see basically Talon's plan is to sort of bypass this area of the map by salvoing out vents and then teleporting into it with the Yoru.
The vents as well. This just destroys any control over mid. And straight
which is a nice idea against what we're trying to do for mid control.
So once again,
this was not split 1 or 2. This is kickoff. So this is the very beginning of the season. This is the second match we ever played.
Global kind of aware of what's going on around mid.
Just a good block there, not being thrown off by the Yoru.
Yep, good fill by Kelly.
The entire setup on B. Obviously, you see the stars, but that sonic sensor, you hear it now. Jetboy's going to wait for his team before they break it and go.
It's going to be quite tricky, especially if you aren't fully committing into this. All these stars are going to slow everything down, and it starts off with the gravity well. Global trying to fire on through into it. Crystal will be able to pick up the double now, and onto the last one.
Nice utility by Poppy. Good flood. And we clean up the defense round on our first rifle. Good stuff. This was a big kill. Kelly coming across there with the smoke. Killing the Yoru was huge. What's up, Flame Boy? You're a hater. Welcome.
However, at the same time, you know, GE trying to keep things interesting. So this time the stars are a little bit more spread out. Ooh, Van though.
I mean, taking that ramp control, obviously with the flash and his own setup combo as well. So they're not quite sure. Was there any other follow-up right now? Prowler is going to tag Bam, push him back.
Prowler kind of re-clears.
So you can kind of make an assumption given his position on ramps and where the Prowler activated.
One thing I'm going to do real quick. Let me just type this out. Today's match is GE versus Talon at Kickoff. We play he plays double Sentinel on Lotus. Cool. Go ahead and pin that so everybody knows what's going on when they hop in here. Thanks for joining me, by the way, guys.
But no
should be a fun match to watch.
Buy the attention away back into the A side, but this deep Baron mash down mid does kind of lure Kelly S out, and Cruz will be able to take him down. So possible A split now at play. Of course, still trying to break through the Baron mash.
They got to take out Ban. Yeah, without Ban being taken out, Talon had so much control of the map. But with ramps being now pushed back out, you can kind of keep Talon trapped over in mid.
And right off the bat, I can tell that Talon has a good understanding of how to play against like the Deadlock. Just because they're doing so much contacting.
He finds one. Can he follow up with 2? He gets 2 as well. Is he ready for the 3rd? He sees him. The Raze 1v1. Governor peeks out and he gets taken down and ropes.
Udaton with a very aggressive push gets paid off for it. And Crystal covers the vents angle. So that should put Talon down to an eco round.
Like you mentioned, Udaton going so aggressive just to take things into his own hands, right? Noting that they were up around 2-2. So being able to shut all that down, Global Esports picks.
Okay. Why did Kelly S get dropped? I answered this yesterday. I really do need to make like an FAQ of all the different questions that I keep getting asked all the time. Essentially, the reality of our team was that we had 2 IGLs signed. We had Kelly S and Crystal, and both of them liked to talk a lot during the game. Both of them had a lot of different ideas about how they wanted to play the game. Unfortunately, most of the time those ideas were kind of in conflict with each other, and it just got to a point where our entire game plan was stalling out because we were trying to do 2 different plans a lot of the time in the middle of the round, and so we just had to pick an IGL basically. Am I still associated with GE? I am not.
Up the round and we're tied up 2-2.
Yeah, very heads up for Uniton, but no, we're not gonna have much time to talk about that pass round as we see another fast hit coming in from Talon.
Okay, fast little mid take.
There with a half buy, just 2 stingers, one of them already dropped, and that's a quick shutdown. And some of these fast
can see a weakness here where they just continually walk into B. This is something that we definitely need to address at some point, potentially, if they continue to abuse this. I don't remember exactly what the adjustments were made in this game, but now that we're VOD reviewing, very obvious.
Uniton didn't quite catch sight of Cruz just yet. Cruz is going to close the gap quite a bit. Oh, a twist of fate, Udo. He's going to back off. This is where he used to shine last week, making the smart choices. He still gets taken down, but numbers still advantage for Global Esports. 2 people already on site.
Okay, Poppy and Darion anchoring.
Darren is able to get down to first, but Primy's still quite deadly with the Sheriff. Now picks up the Judge. Full util as well, but Poppy is
clean from Poppy. Okay. What do I think about the core of GE? I mean, I like the guys. I think they're solid players, but I don't know anything about what they're doing with the roster, and I'm not really going to speculate on the roster too much because it's not really up to me anymore. All right, 3-2. They go with an instant Yoru ult. They do have Primy's ultimate as well. A couple big ults for GE.
For Talon, and it starts things off already. Salvos towards the back and in with a dimensional drift just to gather so much information. They're looking for some spams against the GE players, but nothing quite found just yet. The smokes are blocking so much of it.
Really good counter util by Kelly and Poppy here to stick them in the choke point while they deal with the Yoru.
Trying to tuck in between the smokes to stay alive. Nightfall gets sent out as well.
And you know there was only one Heaven, so you know that the main
and good reactive utility from Crystal to catch the Heaven guy, push him back.
As well. Great hold from Global
So Talon decides to go pivot.
Slowing down the entire team. Bandslide to come out from his ult.
Quick mid-round decision from Talon though.
Derek playing very, very safe.
Over onto the A site, and GE does make a good read.
But most of the gaps have been filled at this point. Crystal's kind of in a weird spot because they could walk downstairs. They could also walk behind him on Heaven.
You still have some semblance of delay, especially with the C still available.
We decide to stack towards B because the Cypher utility is holding A.
You should be able to regroup over by the A side, but they just don't have information. They decide, okay, we're just going to leave Darren on his own. He's just going to have to anchor. Crystal, does he wait?
This is a nice contact call by Talon. They're finding a gap in our setup.
Yeah, for now. Meanwhile, Darren's desperately on his camera trying to spot them out. Definitely finding them towards the back of screens up. It's a little bit too...
Wow, and the timing there is crazy.
Desperately on his camera trying to spot them out. Definitely finding them.
Good hold by Primy there.
It's a little bit too late. It's all up to Crystal, who has to push up a little bit further. Now manages
huge 1v1, won by Crystal.
Stay alive for the rest of the team to get back into the site. But look at Primy as well, though. You mentioned that utility, and he still has a very good opportunity to use it. Just waiting in case they do peek into him, but nothing found so far. And this confirms they are all inside of Heaven. Primy creeps.
Ooh, Poppy's too fast, man. He's too fast.
Sprays all of them down.
Very good awareness from Poppy because you expect the.
Those are some crazy shots. Let's see that on the replay.
He had to buy time from back of sight. He had to open things up even further after the information. But that barrier mesh, it's an absolute pain for Talon.
Just kind of fully collapsing into them and slowing them down.
Whoa. All right, Talon calls a timeout. Early timeout from Talon.
On that deadlock. The deadlock plans to combat. Now they try to go.
They're getting caught. We're being very aware of the gaps in our defense, which is good to see. Don't you think keeping Kelly would have been a better decision for them? And why would they have got a spot for an import like Duelist? And also Kelly's more vocal. I mean, so I'm not going to go into like all the specifics, but essentially the personnel, like the players that we had on the team, functioned better with more freedom. At least according to them, they wanted more freedom in how they were playing. Kelly wanted to play a little bit more sort of like rigid structure, but a lot of the players that we had wanted to play a little bit more free with less sort of micromanaging. And Crystal is a little bit more free and less micromanaging. So We went with what the majority of people wanted, which was less micromanaging, which has led us to keep Crystal as the IGL. Was it the right decision? I don't know. We'll never know because we don't know what it would have been like if we had gotten rid of Crystal and kept Kelly as the IGL. But that's just the reality. We had to make a choice because the team was not functioning. We picked the one that made the most sense logically. And, you know, I think we had potential in stage 2 with Crystal's IGL. Didn't work out for us anyway, but that's just essentially how the decision was made. You know, you can agree or disagree, but there was logic behind what we did. Was it correct? I don't know. We'll never know.
Prime point of information and
You got so many ultimates at play in this.
Okay, big ults for GE, big ults for Talon. Back in a little bit different setup. GE going for what looks like one of our rocket trap setups. So the idea being that Crystal is going to sort of take first contact. He'll probably use a seize off of his little, like the sliver peak here, or maybe off of the camera. And then Udaton will fly in with the rocket to try and capitalize on players coming into a main.
Primi hasn't really found a good chance to use it on the attack.
Looks like at the same time, Talon is doing a bit of a sort of a fake ramps take with just the Yoru. Nice little re-clear. This was one of the reasons why our split was really good in stage 1, is that Crystal and Udaton's synergy on playing around A was super good. They always knew like how to re-clear this. They were really good at knowing when to push out and kill the lurker on A. This is what made Split one of our best maps. It was actually, I think it was probably our best map for Kickoff in stage 1.
Just be one, there's no trade-off. You're ready in vents, and then there's the ground, and there's just so much delay.
Oh my god, Annihilation as well, alongside the paint shells. The spam comes through, Udoton.
Okay, we're blowing maybe too many ults here, but
they're trying to push off of the space that they've gotten.
It's an important gun round, so why not? Governor uses Showstopper in a 1v3, probably not the best play.
I was gonna say, I mean, at the very least, they drew out a lot of the ults from the Global side just to try to buy time if they can reset, but Governor was stuck, so the rest of the team of Talon tries to just buy time for him, and now he's the only one left. He's already used his Showstopper, down to 86 health, trying to creep into the B site. If he gets a timing against Poppy, sure, but if not, this looks nigh impossible. And Poppy's just ready for it. He doesn't need to watch anywhere else because the rest of his team, is watching.
Like instantly, you
another clean round from Global.
You know, Governor went up to check Heaven. And it's just the instant shot. I mean, definitely not kind of the impact you want to have from that coach timeout.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the coach cam looks like after that round. Udoton, okay, we're gonna make the on to mid with it.
So the Yokem Patrick Hu situation is very simple. Our team was very good when he first came in. We developed very good synergy together. We were playing really, really well. Our scrims were going well. And then he didn't get his visa. So then we needed to switch roles. And he basically just had to sit in the Philippines playing ranked or doing whatever. Basically not being part of the team, not developing as a player, not developing in terms of our teamwork, not developing chemistry with our team. And he, you know, as a young player with very little experience, it's super important to get as much time as possible in a team environment to sort of realize your potential. So because he wasn't able to join us in Korea, he wasn't able to practice with us, he essentially just lost out on like some of the most important time that he could have possibly had as a player. And as a result, he essentially just kind of like played ranked and came into our team later on as basically like a ranked player. And he didn't have a lot of chemistry with the guys anymore because we developed chemistry with Udaton and Derek. And so when we brought him back in, he just didn't really function in our team like he did early on because we had totally changed how we were playing. Because when he was our duelist, we played in a totally different way. We played different comps. We played in a different style. And with him out of the team, we had changed our style to adapt to the new players and the new roles. So just bringing him back in didn't fit very well. That's why he struggled. Also, he was definitely like nervous on stage. And, you know, had missed out on a lot of really important team development stuff as far as like communication and playing together and trading and stuff like that. So it really was basically as simple as that.
Absolute massive util dump.
That's just kind of what the comp truly affords. But now, okay, starting things off, topping 5.
Okay, Talon trying to go for a fast round, but they keep trying to go fast into our deadlock, which is not working out too well.
The sound from that grab net, Jit Boys takes a lot of damage.
Trying to caterpillar through the smoke. However,
Poppy doing a great job anchoring.
Reaction to this, Poppy hanging out towards the back, watching the exits of that smoke. Crystal up around the corners with the outlaw. Yudotan from the top of heaven.
And to me, it really seems like Talon has kind of like gone away from their game plan that was working early on. Like the first couple of rounds, they were very contact heavy. They weren't making a lot of noise. They weren't trying to go too fast. They were just like walking into space. But now they're trying to go fast and they're running directly into our deadlock traps.
Once again, sure, you take down the barrier mesh, but Talon has yet to really claim control, solid control of one part of the map while destroying all the delay utility.
Yeah, tried to push faster, but clearly that doesn't quite work out. Outlaw still in the hands of Crystal, and he's marking this. Spots out the shoulder and instantly governs down.
And just look at how confident they are as well, right? Holding this wider off angle there with the Outlaw. You know it's an eco. And you know that they either have to invest a lot.
This is one thing that I think we did really well this year, is how much we prioritize the outlaw. Like we basically tried to have one outlaw against every single eco buy, like for most of the year.
Back into mid, you find the barrier mesh as well. I mean, this space just in time.
I mean, Ajith Babu, I literally just explained stuff, and you're just trying to troll. So, go fuck yourself. What aspects did I contribute to the team when Juvenile was present? I did a lot. I did a lot of strat stuff. I did a lot of team dynamic stuff. I did a lot.
Straight into Kelly S. I spotted something out by the mini-map.
Oh, they hear that again, and then there's the paint shows. You know he's trapped. Okay, it's a good fight back, but eventually it's the paint shows. They just have so many variations between Yudotan and Kelly S, and Talon just has not figured
Another
out
good
an
hold
answer.
in middle. Yeah, they keep trying to go middle into our raise deadlock stuff, which is very weird.
I know it's already very late, but if you go into the second half with only 2 rounds, sure, it's split. You know, say what you want. But I just don't think they have good answers in terms of how their util counters the defensive util and the delay util from Global Esports.
Okay, 7-2. Really good defensive half.
Really feel comfortable, then you can really just focus on that pistol.
Bro, the crew's 1v2. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there for sure. Go back and look at this nice little combo. We go back to the trap here. Nothing's worked for Talon. They haven't been able to get middle. Their B hit has not worked, so they go back to trying to go A with their Rolling Thunder and Teo ult. And we have correctly read that this is the spot we should have 3 people.
So now it's going to be a 5-man stack. You've got Rolling Thunder, you've got Armageddon. You got to dump everything you can just to even get into the site. They haven't planted a spike in a long time, and Yudotan gets covered with the paint shows again.
Just trying to set up for it now alongside this time.
Little double from Yudo.
You can't quite do too much with the utility. They're still
Camera confirms they've crossed up to ramps.
Block things off out towards the exits.
And look at the fill onto the site from Global Esports. Because you had this trip over in heaven, they could buy time until someone arrived. And there's Kelly. Yes, he gets one. He plays it safe. Once again, extra delay until he
calling
gets
for the
more
double
support
peek.
over from the rafters. Now it's
Potentially.
a double angle over on heaven. Talon is trapped right now by
Nope,
ramps.
just playing patient.
Still locked off. Might even be an effective crossfire.
Ooh, that's kind of weird.
An angle, and Cruz is able to take one down, but straight back into the site, and that's Jit Boys down.
A little bit miscommunication there from Kelly and Crystal.
Don't quite know how he's going to work around this. The sonic sensor is still there, and Jit Boys right around the corner too. I mean, Poppy, excuse me.
Yeah, Poppy's just going to wait, but once he hears any sort of sound...
This Talon team is definitely weaker compared to the roster now. Yeah, I would say so.
They're not quite sure. He doesn't want to take this 1v1, and this is so heads up.
They've got a lot of aimers on their team now.
He needs an extra kill. Look at this angle. It's so hard. He saw the gun barrel, and Poppy absolutely out.
Yeah, Poppy's reads in this game were incredible.
Down from heaven, for example, but then that would have been a 1v.
At the end of the day, you already lost.
Okay, 8-2 to start the half.
2 more chances to get some rounds in this first half.
Possibly thinking about the next map, but we'll see. For now,
They decided to go with an attack operator because nothing else has worked so far. So looking for an early pick.
Still wreaking havoc. Interestingly enough, though, the setup has changed.
Yeah, just a stack onto the B side. GE trying to get ahead of the read just a bit. You have that showstopper, and Poppy is going to get that first kill. Grabnet used. Oh, but Crystal takes down Ban. Still no control over ramps. Yes, you took Bin, but GE gifted it to you. They left it open.
And Talon kind of just gifting us a couple kills to start the round. Very hard for them to do anything.
So good on the variety of plays, the defensive setups. Still though, Operator will be able to fire back. So maybe
where would GE stand if they got an all-Indian roster but international staff? I mean, I don't know. Like, from the beginning, they probably would be pretty decent at this point. Like, if they had you know, a couple years of development together. But, I mean, I don't know much about the Indian scene as far as, like, who's good coaches and stuff like that, but I was fairly impressed by Godspeed with Velocity. I thought Velocity did some good work at Ascension, so I wouldn't say that they're like they have to have international staff, but I definitely think that having at least some international influence, regardless of what region you're in, whether you're in China or India or Southeast Asia or, you know, even like America's, bringing in people from outside of your region who think a little bit differently is always a good thing, because it gets you more ideas, it gives you more tools to work with.
Yeah, I've tried to go all in on some of these rounds, but Kelly S alongside Yudotan have been stopping them time and time again.
Yeah, you're right, Ziff. A little bit bad protocol from Talon. They pull out the attack op, he gets smoked off middle, and then two people just kind of solo walk and die on the extremities. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Totally fucks their round. But you can kind of tell based on the scoreline that Talon is a little bit lost as to what to do at this point.
Look at this! The barrier mesh! Oh no! They managed to shoot it down though, so still able to slip on.
Okay, another Euro ult for B. Hello, Ban.
Oh, they managed to shoot it down though, so still able to slip on.
He hasn't checked backside. He hasn't checked backside. No!
That's crazy.
Poppy's still holding in the back of sight. The panic coming through for Talon Pinchos, but he's going to skirt around it. He's still
somehow Poppy's alive, which is insane.
Across the entire map.
Oh, and there's a little gap for Poppy to stay alive in, but still flushed out of position. Jitboy is able to gun him down. He's towards the back now. It's all up for Global Esports to try to come in.
Okay, Lurk gets activated finally. 2v2.
Unfortunately, Jitboy falls. He swings.
And 10-2 half. I will tell you, at this point, I was feeling incredibly good.
Holy moly. I mean, on one part of it, when I saw the map draft, I thought, okay, but you did.
I was feeling incredibly good right now.
You're going into a map against a team that always.
GE was okay when Juvenile was there, and I changed the system after that. We didn't perform. I mean, I could tell you some stories that would totally change your mind, but I'm not going to, because I'm not going to just like air a bunch of dirty laundry. But you're entitled to your own opinions. The reality of the situation on the team was way different than you think it was. Let's just put it that way. All right, 10-2 half. It's going to be a pretty clean map for GE. Why do some players play so close to the monitor? I mean, just to focus, I guess. I don't understand it, but the closer you are, I guess, the easier it is to kind of react when you see somebody on your screen at a moment's notice. Incredible shots from Jit.
Gets 2 out of 3, but it's a big slowdown against GE's attack.
Still though, crazy individual performance.
Oh, and I like the group up here from Talon. They're not going to send everybody just because they want to know, are they heaven? Even if they plant A, are they all on site? So getting that information is good, but you have the numbers advantage, so staying grouped up to try to make sure that they can combat wherever the push is.
And also using the drone just for added measure.
They don't know about Darion. They haven't actually gotten into heaven just yet.
Ban is able to save. Good awareness from Ban to catch Derek there.
Just quick as well. Bearmash trying to fend off stairs, but the salvos are going to stall and slow them down. Everyone from Talon already grouping up into the site. Sight lines being held as well. Yudotan gonna try to play around the timing of it just to watch if anyone does peek out. But man, still being such a menace towards the back of sight. It's all down to Kelly. Yes, now the paint shell's in his face. Stunned up, but able to take.
Overall, nice round from the individuals on Talon. Some good shots.
How Talon started things off, not too.
Okay, full eco from GE. Looks like we're just gonna go for maybe some fast mid pressure. Right into a judge. Probably not gonna go very well for us. Not going to spoil the round, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be a big multi-kill for Jit Boys.
Oh, and look at the A setup as well. Gate crash into elbow so that if Ban gets first contact, he's still going to fill the site. That's something to keep note of in the future rounds as well. Giving up vents, though,
avoiding the
from
judge.
Talon, they just want to make sure that they have a multi-angle here on the retake. He's going to go ahead and take the gate crash, actually. Well, kind of leaves Cruz all alone, but Ban does get one to even the numbers.
There it is, back in the elbow with the Marshall as well. So huge sight line, and he definitely spots things out. Goes for the re-peek. That's a third kill. Swaps over onto the Ghost just for Adam Master. And this could be the ace. It is. He lands.
Nice round from Ban. Good coverage with the Marshall.
It's such a.
So that op gonna bounce back and forth. Look at the gate crash already set up over on the A side, and it's a huge push-out trap play. They want to utilize the fact that they might have slightly weaker weaponry, but we're gonna shove you.
An aggro bonus from Talon.
So much space.
Good awareness from GE.
Garage.
Not getting caught out by that.
GE thinks better than that, just to kind of hold passively around 2 or around mid. Oh, but Poppy actually peeks into the op.
A good hold from Poppy, holding that op.
Go back and watch that shot. Yes, this is good. Good awareness. Ban gets a little greedy.
Oh, but Poppy actually
Poppy's first bullet's too good.
Good hold from Poppy, holding that off angle close to the wall, because you imagine, okay, if they're pushing that hard out of A, but they're not chasing, where else is the information coming from? This is your bonus. This is where you take risks. So I love the patience from Poppy to wait for that operator, and now that's a big investment gone.
Yeah, and an aggressive buy-up from Talon. I kind of like it, but
back towards A, but look at what's happening on the minimap.
Good first-round protocol. Not to get caught by anything aggressive. Not to react too fast.
Call Governor back over to A, because right now you saw information over by ramps. You're still seeing just the fade util though, so no clear information. But Talon, the comms not quite there just yet. It's just Jit Boys trying to pinch through. So now you just have to hold and see if you can delay on the site and then go for a multi-pronged retake. Does he give the angle?
30 seconds.
Jit Boys, he gets the kill.
Oh, but down onto the
Okay,
site.
at the same time, explode into sight.
So Global able to flood down the site now. A little bit of screens pressure as well. Crystal up around the
Little
side.
4v3.
Jit Boys with the Vandal now.
Ooh, that could have been a big kill.
A little bit more havoc, trying to get a little bit more space for his team in with the stars. Bricks a little bit of down. Governor onto the Spectre does a little bit more damage too, and Jit Boy swinging off the attention away. But
Kind of individual plays on this post plant, but clean it up. 11-4.
Not able to win that.
And the operator's gone. Talon calls their second timeout.
But then they shake it off.
Why was Poppy not able to play in Stage 1 and Stage 2? I mean, he played, but obviously it was a little bit inconsistent, and a lot of it had to do with just the chaos going on in our team internally.
It really is just Primi not quite having the opportunity so far.
Poppy is an easy vibes guy. He just needs a good environment. I feel like we did not give him the best environment to play. Is this a live game? No. We're doing a bit of a retrospective on our 2025 season.
Catch a sight of one member over by Ramen. And Governor's just going to be able to try to hold on his own, just trying to delay.
Okay, another very passive default start for GE.
Go for a fairly default position. Now you have that trap play ready in mid. You're going to see that fault line potentially come in because they've given a timing for GE to try to reclaim control. You know that there's going to be a push and pull. When do they peek out though? So many smokes coming out. Still no contact.
Just holding.
I am not the coach anymore.
Doesn't spot anything out either. Darren managed to stay and avoid it.
I'll handle this. Oh, the ult just to check. That's 3 members.
Okay, we're so slow in middle that Talon kind of gets baited into using the Aurora ult to figure out what's going on. Kind of a nice reposition by Ban.
Okay, the Yora's behind you. Where do you go? But now over in heaven, Governor's able to get that 1 kill as well. Gate crash. It's going to be expired. And there's the fault line just delayed. Now you know with only 20 seconds.
Pivoting into A. 3 people here. Yeah, this is going to be very hard for us to get on site here.
Time of it. Now you got to worry about the back as well. GE, pressure's definitely on them. Trying to flood into the site, but look at the flash. It is ready. Primi holding on to sight lines as well. Elbow blocked off. Down to the site. That's Cruz in with second kill.
Nice round by Talon. They read the round correctly. We took way too long to do stuff in middle.
Push out. You're just caught in mid, and then it's a timing play from Talon, and they're starting to find some footing.
Just a little bit. Now with the guns as well, hopefully able
to... Okay, eco round. We do have Annihilation ready, but
GE a little bit passive,
we'll see whether we can catch. Nope. Good coverage from the Talon players.
Oh, lots of members spotted by Governor as well. I love the close range paint shells in case they decided to pile on, and
okay.
Still gets a long range fight. He is
spammed out.
the site.
quick reactions. Jitboy is able to kind of come back.
Long range judge. Good stuff.
Now towards the back now. Cruz, unfortunately, gunned down.
Wow, I think that's the first time I've really seen the grab net right into the repeat. Being able to land that shot so easily.
What's up, Mr. Pacifier? How are you?
Yes. Usually we see it obviously some more for set plays and trap plays. He will be able to recover the spikes to try to make a play for map point, which I would not mind. You're 6 rounds ahead. I would like to see a little bit of risk taking, because if you use the Annihilation, limit them down to a 2v2, now suddenly it looks doable.
Platoon was the analyst for us in stage 2. He coached them at Spotlight. I don't know what his plans are. Okay. Do we call a timeout here? I'm a little surprised we haven't called a timeout here, because it kind of looks like we're not really sure what we're doing on attack at the moment.
You're looking at the scoreboard, you see all these ultimates online.
Definitely a bit too slow. We're not really doing too much.
They're gonna leave A relatively empty. So
we're letting Talon get a good read on every round.
You have the Cosmic Divide as well. I like the fast push out of mid. You really just want to force them into one of the sites.
All right, we're doing our B pop execute. Nice shot by Ban. We do get the site, but we use some big utility. So Talon's gonna go for a flood. Honestly, Poppy's Cosmic Divide timing here was incredible, because it kind of negated the Rolling Thunder, protected Derek. And then the refight here, 3 players coming to fight as they have to push through the smoke, is really good. Udaton goes crazy with the multi. So very good reaction. Very good reaction to refight ramp there. Also, the breach ult maybe missed. Maybe it wasn't the best positioning of the breach ult. Okay. Map point. Is Platoon a good analyst? Yes, I would have continued working with him if I was the coach. I told GE that I thought he was very, very good at his job, and I wanted him to stay for another year.
The rest of his team gets information, and then he sees what is the reaction. Is it a push out or is it not? Primi catches sight. I think Crystal did too, given his jiggle.
Okay, we start off very passive, expecting some sort of aggression, since Talon's done a lot of aggression so far. Gonna regroup and pop A again, it looks like. Talon decides to walk in, but we've got a nice little bait here potentially with Crystal. Yep. Boombot does not clear at all. Governor not aware that we could have walked over, I guess. Kind of a nice play by Primi, but the trades are there. So now 3v2. Also perfect information from the Cypher.
Already just pick off these 1v1s. Over by Poppy. He's not looking. Shitboys, does he find a timing? He does.
Uh-oh.
Now a 2v1. 1v1 down to Crystal versus Shitboys.
Just trying to hold her up around the spike. Inside of elbow, he peeks out, and that's gonna be the.
And Crystal just goes for the timing peak, so we take map number 1.
Global Esports ends the
boom,
first
boom,
match.
boom.
Really, really well played from GE, and I think we saw a little bit of the undercooked moments from Talon even in that last round. They're trying.
Coaching.
All right.
Darion up here.
GE up 1-0. How do analysts contribute to a team win? Do they give strats advice like a coach? So, I mean, it's going to depend on the team and what the analyst's role is, who the analyst is, etc. For me, with Platoon, I specifically wanted to work with Platoon because I knew that he was good with data analytics and data visualization, and you know, could custom code like some tools to use to help sort of like facilitate our team's growth. And he also offered some like anti-eco strats and stuff like that. But our main focus with him was that I wanted like basically objective data on how our comps were doing, various players we were prioritizing. He also helped me with some anti stuff for teams, like you know, heat maps for like operator positions, the tempo that teams like to play, as far as whether they like to play fast rounds or slow rounds, stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to depend. Basically, the analyst is kind of like an assistant coach. It's kind of just like another title. I mean, realistically, the analyst could just be an assistant coach, but it's going to vary depending on the team. What are the strengths and weaknesses of Darion? So Derek is a very selfless player. He's extremely, extremely good at keeping the vibes good in a team. He's very, very vocal, has extremely good communication. He's not selfish at all. So like, you know, he'll jump around a corner for his teammate to trade him. He's very good at like keeping the round moving and being proactive. And yeah, like a lot of the stuff that you don't necessarily see just watching the game, Derek is incredibly good at.
I think it's a very natural fit for Darion. You know, he's played a lot of Jet, he's done a lot of opping, and I do think Chamber can provide a lot of valuable, I don't want to say utility, but a lot of valuable impact.
You're seeing other agent changes as well.
What about 3 Initiator Lotus comp? I don't know what comp that is. But we're gonna go watch the Triple Initiator Sentinel comp after this match.
Yeah, I am liking this. I love when teams go back and rework all their weaknesses.
Okay, so real quick, we'll talk about this. So we just played Abyss. We just played Abyss. I was talking about this yesterday when I was streaming. Basically, our Abyss had been one of our best maps when we had Patrick Hu in, because we were playing a Yoru Jet comp. When he was not able to be part of the team, we had to change what our Abyss comp was, and we couldn't find a comp that worked for our team. So we tried like 4 different comps. We were shit at the map. We also had not figured out Haven with our team either. And so we had decided to permaban Haven. And unfortunately, Abyss got picked in match number 1. So every team saw that our Abyss was bad. And so we got Abyss picked against us by Talon, and then we had Abyss picked against us by DFM in the following week as well. So what we did between our secret match and our Talon match is we stole the G2 comp, which was this one, because Darion played a lot of Chamber back in the Chamber meta. He's a good opper, good Chamber player. And so we basically just stole the G2 comp, implemented it in like 3 days, and it worked better for us in scrim, so we brought it into the match against Talon. So we probably practiced this map like maybe 5 times, something like that with this comp, and just in like the couple of days before we played Talon.
For Kelly, so they're really swapping a couple of different things around for this Abyss game.
Yeah, I am liking this. I love when teams go back and rework all their weaknesses, and it looks like they both cooked something up, and I have no idea who's going to be the better chef. We're going to go over to our casters to take away map 2.
What was the biggest mistake I made while coaching GE?
Thank you very much.
Probably not demanding more from the players. I should have been more strict and more decisive with some of the things that we were doing, I think.
Baiting out those crosshairs, and then the rest of the team is there to trade. So we'll see if Primi's set up for some of that fragging power.
Okay, so food critic Chobra is kind of liking what Talon is cooking up here.
I didn't say like. I just said that we gotta wait and see.
Gotta wait and see. Right. We shall kind of give them a chance. We'll give them a chance at how everything goes. But I mean, it's that double controller as well. But right now,
okay, nice pick from Darion.
Chamber already coming through.
And we're just going to get a safe peek out there from Unotan. He takes a little bit of scratch from that early scuffle, but Crystal's still here as well. And then there's the support from Kelly S. Once again, keep your eyes on the movement of Kelly S, because he has been very busy on that first map and now already in the first round of Abyss as well. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about that chamber, though. The Des touched upon it, but that chamber can gain you so much aggressive space for that extra information. So I'm curious what kind of positions Darion takes.
Especially with how he holds sight lines as well. I mean, speaking of his past experiences as a Jet, it's just right there. And he's able to hold it down again from the back of heaven. Governor
okay,
down,
some nice shots from Derek and Poppy.
That's Primi gone, and you're working against numbers. At this point, Unotan gets yet another. Ben, what are you gonna do? Tries to slip through with a ghost, but Poppy swings out after the fall.
Played a lot of chamber. most played Asian. So.
All right. So we're about to witness sort of one of the biggest weaknesses that we had as a team, which is our anti-ecos, and also just adapting to things when teams do different stuff. So you can see right off the bat, this is some nice anti from Talon. This wall is quite good at getting them up close. They've got stingers. We were very bad at reading the stinger buy early on, and then we started doing the stinger buy, and we got a little bit better at it. But our buy right here is terrible against stingers. We've got 2 scopes. We've got a long-range guardian. We've got a bulldog and a sheriff. None of these weapons is good against stingers. And losing anti-ecos after winning the pistol is one of the fastest ways to lose a map.
Especially on the B side of things, it definitely works out incredibly well. But right now,
War Spy coming out from Talon. All half armor, all stingers. It's just going to be a full push in. Okay, going for the barrier mesh as well. They want to go for a full wraparound onto the A side. I don't mind it, and they will able to punish Yudotan. They punish Kelly S as well, and now Crystal all alone. Just the Sheriff, he gets stunned against the stingers. Gets one, not able to connect onto the second.
Yep, so a nice round from Talon. Good call. Catches us completely off guard.
You know, all that incoming footsteps.
And just like that, all of the momentum's gone.
They're able to actually.
So now we're playing defense on the back foot. We've lost our economic and ult advantage.
Sort of fast rotate from the defenders.
I think it's also a little bit of that Viper wall from Ben as well, though, right? I mean, it's kind of impressive. They keep doing the same thing. I mean, you got to keep an eye on that for the future rounds. But right now, back into B, Darren's already swapped sides over onto the A site.
Poppy just going to get pushed away. Doesn't really take damage there. He's able to get out.
Still space afforded, and now Talon pretty much kind of gets the free sight, right? It's just classics. Kelly S jumps over, actually managed to land yet another.
Kelly somehow gets 2 with the classic, so damage is not too bad.
Pretty soon, spike planted. How does GE try to deal with this?
Yeah, I mean, already you've taken too much damage.
This Talon comp is kind of sick, actually.
Overall, in the grand scheme of things, Talon okay.
They're all in on the post plant, hit sites fast, play post.
Maybe you try to fish for some kills for Darren to try to get.
Abuse the fact that the map is huge. It's very hard to have a stack in the right spot.
It's going to be just going down to the spike is the answer.
Trying to play around it still. Yeah, maybe trying to get that tour de force on.
And yeah, this round is over. Crystal's going to save his Phantom. Cool. So first gun round for GE after losing the anti-eco. We pick up the operator. And kind of a funny fact about this. So part of how G2 ran this comp is Leaf would do this jump from here to here, basically like every round that he played on A. And so I wanted Derek to do this because getting into this position with Chamber is really strong. But he was too nervous to do this on stage. So I kept having him do it in practice, and he couldn't do the jump consistently. He kept dying. We ran it a couple times in scrims, and he kept jumping off the edge and not making the jump. So I literally had to find a lineup for him to do this jump consistently, but then he was too nervous to actually do it on stage. So instead of doing the jump around to get over to this position and hold this angle, he just decided to play a little bit safer and just walk out. I don't know if that really made much of a difference on this particular play, but it's just kind of a funny thing.
And you can see that it definitely forces G to invest some.
Can I ask why breach over something like a KO? I mean, we literally were complete dog shit at this map. None of our comps was working. G2 was playing a cool comp that had a chamber in it. We had a player who was very comfortable on chamber, so I literally just stole the G2 comp, implemented their defaults. I didn't think too much about it. Because we needed some other solution because our Abyss was terrible, and we were going to play a bunch of teams picking Abyss against us because we had shown that our Abyss was terrible. Basically as simple as that. We had like, I don't know, how many days did we have in between games? We played Secret on the 19th, and we played Talon on the 25th. So we had like 5 days. We had 5 days of practice, so we just switched our comp.
Players and at least playing around mid a bit more.
Deep recon for a very aggressive position. These are the things you can afford to do with that chamber. We saw some of that chamber coming out from the Americas as well, where you're able to take so many different off angles with that rendezvous.
pulling it. A little bit of a...
Sometimes that's kind of what you have to do during the season.
Spots the Neon, but couldn't quite deal with the slide, so at least he gets away in time.
Then why not choose comfort if you aren't strong on this map? What are you talking about? That's literally what we did. We put Derek on his most comfortable agent, Chamber. We put Udaton on his most comfortable agent, Jet. We put Crystal on his most comfortable agent, Sova. We put Kelly on his most comfortable agent, or one of his most comfortable agents, on Breach. And Poppy's on Astra. Poppy can play whatever smoke. So all of our players are comfortable. The comp fits our players a little bit better than the double smokes comp, for example, that we just got shit on by Secret with. So we put our players on comfort. We brought a different look. So yeah, that's basically what happened.
Yeah, that was kind of dicey. I'm surprised he even stayed for that.
Do I think Derek is the level of tier 1 players? Yes.
Barely spotted by the drone, but perhaps hoping that they didn't quite.
Can he play for PaperX or DRX? I mean, no, he doesn't speak Korean, and PaperX is not making any roster moves.
And VCL just last year.
See if he's able to maybe land some of those crazy shots. Now, we mentioned that toxic screen earlier. Obviously, just as any double controller, it's putting in a lot of that pressure, cutting off some of that rotate, and then Ban putting pressure onto Vents right now as well, trying to go for
this lurk from Ban is perfectly timed.
He's hiding away. They're not quite sure. Has he dropped or has he not? They can't quite make up their mind.
Ooh, the timing from Poppy, a little bit unfortunate.
Able to react in kind. Still, though, you're taking a look at how Ban is effectively lurking out from the back.
Good flood. Good shot from Derek. This lurk from Ban. What's the timing like? Oh. Perfect from Crystal, and boom. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Good recovery.
That is the calm of the round right there. That's the call.
Comfortable map like Haven. Like I said, our Haven was terrible. Our Haven was really bad, and we couldn't find a good comp that worked for our team. We tried the standard comp. We tried a Viper comp. We tried a double Senti comp. We tried the Fnatic comp, and we were bad with all of them. So we banned Haven. Basically as simple as that.
I love the cohesion on the side of G, and right now back into it, it's Darren taking that aggressive space once more.
Pushing out this time, and Primi waits for it. Good punish. Knows the mind of someone who wants to op.
Yeah, a bit too aggressive from Derek there.
Waiting for it.
Crystal.
In my opinion, on this map, like once you get to this corner, you don't need to go too much further than that. Maybe if you have some recon or drone to get you on a little bit deeper, but getting on this line I feel like is not that good because it's always dangerous. They can come from two sides or peek out from the box as well. So it's kind of a hard, this is kind of a hard angle to hold. I think a lot of times you're better just holding the diagonal one.
Anticipating a possible push out as well. I mean,
you watch this game in a theater? Oh man. Thanks for showing up. I mean, the theater watch parties were amazing.
It's either you try to push out yourselves or you kind of just have to wait. You have to leave that mid open and try to push out of a side so that you can go.
What do I think having a strong core from a different team is good or making a good core? I mean, I think building a core of like 2 to 3 players is really important for making a good team over time. I think you could potentially import 3 players from a different team, or you can build your own core.
A bit of a retake scenario now without the numbers. GE gonna have to try to at least maybe get some picks. They do have
the opening kill on Derek put us kind of a weird spot.
Because your econ is all over the place right now. The credit's not quite evened out for GE. So if you believe that the operator
probably should just save here
for those defensive rounds, which I would imagine you do, given the chamber. I think you got
probably should just save here.
And Kelly S just trying to see if he can get a couple cheeky kills. But look at the wraparound from Governor. He wants to punish the op. Finds one. Oh,
whoa!
Okay. We'll finish off the kill. Knows he doesn't.
Okay, do hold on to the op though.
Active and be clearly.
I think that playing out for them. Get some information.
Okay, we decide to do the walk down. So this is going to be Chamber walks down to this position, holds this angle. Jet. We're double opping. Okay, interesting. So Poppy is going to play passive on B, which I don't know if I love this. Derek's going to walk down here with his op. Udaton's going to take his op and play a passive line here, it looks like. Although he might actually float around and take this line as well. Not sure.
If you push out, they punish GE, and then they divide them in mid, and then it's a flood with the Neon. So now the answer is, let's take them out in mid.
Okay, good position.
Down to the tour de force. The first
Crystal
shot
goes
down
to
the
fill the
governor, and all of a
space.
sudden, Talon has to back off.
Yudotan gonna back off from the drone.
Already given up, trying to hide away from that drone. Looks like Yudotan might have been hidden.
Okay, they're gonna go for the bridge plant. This is kind of nice.
You do have your own to try to counter.
Kelly walks through by himself.
Oh man, another repeat with the op this time. A little bait and switch. Big risk, but Crystal still
Okay,
holding strong and
good
eventually
coverage by
he'll come
Crystal.
beyond the site, and Talon, they are
And
frantic.
actually a
Realizing
really
there's
nice
too many
pivot
members
from
on the
Talon. This is really nice.
Bit of
Oh
a
wait.
around decision,
Oh,
or at least thinking about it, but they're doubling
wait.
back.
Trying to use that little pocket that might have been available on the Cosmic Divide to fake them out, but
Did they mix?
I don't think, yeah,
Was
I
that
don't
a
know if
sound
he
bait
heard them, 'cause I
intentionally,
don't
or
think
did
we saw
they
Kelly
just
as
second
pass that
guess?
wall.
Not
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, now they're second guessing themselves, so surely I don't think they heard it at all.
Oh no.
Ooh,
But
this is a weird
Duncan
round.
Just
We
close
should
enough
win
to the
this,
side
but
and
now.
numbers to possibly make something.
Okay, this is another thing that we did a
Available on
lot
the Cosmic
this year that was a really bad habit that we tried to fix but didn't do a very good job of overall as a team, which is that when we decide to rotate off of somewhere, we don't leave anybody in space. So we're going to end up all leaving the site. And we're going to end up with people like here, here, and then 2 people over here. So we end up basically having 0 map control because while we're rotating, we have no control of this area. And we're leaving this area. So we have absolutely no information about what's going on. When you do a rotate like this, it's really important that you leave like at least one person or like a sentinel utility or something. So that just in case that you've guessed wrong, you don't completely fuck yourself.
Divide to fake them out, but I don't think, yeah, I don't know if G even heard them because I don't think we saw Kellius pass that wall.
I mean,
But,
I don't.
yeah, now they're second guessing themselves, so surely I don't think they heard it at all.
Oh no. But still,
Yeah,
I mean,
and Talon do love faking, so full rotating is pretty rough.
To possibly make something happen. Surely now they hear
At least Crystal is re-clearing here, which I think is good. But we probably should not have fully left A.
Boys, he might just let Kellius slip through and take out one of his teammates.
So in the position, a little bit far too deep, while the rest of his team just kind of holds out around the spike. Cruz farther back, so that marks Crystal.
Ooh, the timing's weird here.
Just to throw out the recon, Crystal kind of slipping through. Sova versus Sova. It's just down to the gunplay and the angles. Crystal, unfortunately, shoulder spotted out. And that's then the Cosmic Divide. But do they know that Heaven's being held?
They now.
Don't really
Because
check
you
on
saw that
Primi,
connection coming
and
from
we're gonna have to
Spike
try and
Traffic.
save
They
the
saw
op.
Center as well, just not enough time,
But
and
it's not
GE
gonna
will have
happen.
to back off. That should be another round for Talon. They're on the hunt. They got to get out of the spike.
But I think
radius.
Derek is as good as Grumble was in
Kellius will
Trials.
survive just barely.
Communication-wise, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I only got to see a couple of trials with Grumble, but I was very impressed by him. But I also do think that Derek is extremely good.
Additional angle.
Trying to fix other. And you will. It's
All right.
fine. Maybe
Timeout from GE.
Some of their op,
Trying to
especially again.
not lose too many rounds in a row. Have one rifle to work with. I don't totally know why we don't give this to either our Jet or our Chamber. Doesn't really make sense to have it on Breach, who is going to be throwing utility, but
Working with that double controller setup that they have, mid
it's
is
kind of
always
nitpicking, I
kind of
guess.
in contention. Yudotan being stuck inside of B-Link.
okay, just a little bit of a fake bait there for the ult orb, and eventually they'll be able to secure that for themselves. And they make it sound like they left. So it's an absolute trap play, and Darian can't quite land that shot. What a jump peek out from Premi with the Outlaw.
It's just shut down, but now this is the reaction from GE to try to come back in, thinking about a possible A site being leaked open. It is a bit of an eco round for GE, but still tough luck. I mean, starting things off that way.
Yeah, probably just need
Yeah, I
to
don't
group
mind
up
them
and
piling on to B, right? If you get a kill onto Kellius, maybe
we're just
even
gonna go
the
ahead
moment
and
under
gamble.
time allows for it to try to just
gamble
move
to
around
B,
without
hope for the
attrition.
best.
But it's gonna be a hard fake. Talon not taking
It's a
any
fake from
chances. If they
Talon.
get a
Yeah, this is kind
reaction
of nice
out of
by
here, they'll
Talon.
Immediately go into A site, still creeping forward, but they start to see some of that util come out on B. So the main force will be going into A.
Yeah,
Oh, the Hunter's Fury baited out.
Ooh, this is really bad ult from Crystal. This is actually a fucking terrible ult from Crystal. It's a 4v5 eco round. We should absolutely not be using this ult under any circumstances.
Hard fake. Talon not taking any chances. If they get a reaction out of here, they'll immediately go into A site. Still creeping forward, but they start to see some of that util come out on B. So the main force will be going into A.
Really, really bad ult.
The Hunter's Fury baited out onto that plant, and now it's just going to be planted on A site. Governor, he's done his job.
So unfortunate with the ults being drawn out. Rotations back into the A side. Okay, Viper's pit up as well, just for added measure, but now in towards fence, and Jit Boys holding it. Bit of an angle, spots them out.
Yeah,
It's a
easy.
double kill.
Easy double for Jit, and that's the end of the round. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now that we've trolled ourselves by using the Sova ults. Okay. Things are not working particularly well for us sitting back, so we decided to walk down middle, it looks like. It's going to be Breach supporting the Jet. Udaton's going to try and get into this corner. Got the op back up on Derek. He's going to take an A main position.
So
We
much
do
value.
have the Breach
At the
ult.
same time, it made a bit of an eco round for GE, so getting a read.
Do you think he's ulting on his own? I mean, he is ulting on his own. I can just tell you 100%. Crystal loves to ult for kills, which is fine in a lot of situations, but in that particular situation, 4v5 on an eco round is a really, really, really terrible play.
For things now, but this is the adjustment. It's going to be Udotan pushing down mid to take down Ban.
Okay, nice little walk down.
Position on A main as well. So yeah, now doubling down on where you push out from, so that way you can get the one and done kill in mid and back
What's up,
off.
Zenitsu?
You don't have
How
to
are
be
you?
afraid about holding on to that position. It's still a double stack, so this requires Talon to now use util. But the question is if you have to use the rendezvous, which you will, where else do you push out from again? Does Udotan push out from mid once more because there's still a full minute left on the clock?
Okay.
Push out from a util. But the question is if you have to use the rendezvous, which you will, where else do you push out from again? Does Udotan push out from mid once more because there's
Yeah, I do think that we probably need to be more proactive here. Like, at least take some space middle or B when they show A.
still a full minute left on the
Like, just in
clock.
general on this map, it's really important
hold
to
it for
like
now.
take what the other team is
GE
giving you
pushed back
when they
into
show
a somewhat
places.
backwards, a default position.
Banking a lot
We're
on
investing the
stack,
drone
at the same time,
quite
trusting
early.
Poppy to just
We
hold
do
down. He's
see
continuing to
2,
jiggle, so
maybe
he doesn't
3
see
people,
anything.
so we're gonna
It's
hold
all down to
the
the stack and how they're able to react
hold the
to what
players
could
A,
possibly come out of
hold the
side.
op
We
A.
have to remember
Crystal's
the
gonna go
slide
back
is
to
on
middle and
Neon,
just kind
so
of
not
watch
gonna
for
be
any
able
sort of
to really
lurk.
displace that crosshair at
Really needed somebody to be breaking this for Derek, though.
we have
I
to remember
think another habit that I noticed us have that we had for quite a bit of time is just not really babysitting our ops enough. Like, when you have an op on a line, you need somebody to just break the utility for them, because otherwise it's too easy to chase them off.
Slide is gone from Neon, so not going to be able to really displace that crosshair as much. But Darion, he gets tagged.
Thoughts on Neon and Abyss? I think it's pretty good.
Trying to slip on through with that. The relay vault now out. Kelly's not quite able to
Yeah,
react with
and
it.
then
Second
that
round,
snowballs
used,
because
but
we don't break the
unfortunately,
not the
quite
drone,
enough time.
which causes the
Gets
chamber
got
have to fall
and
off,
that's
which
gonna
then
be
leaves
now
Kelly alone on site,
Crystal, out from
and
heaven,
then
trying to work
allows him to
alongside it.
explode. So
Kind of avoiding the annihilation, which
pretty
didn't
big
quite
mistake
connect into
on a
him, so
fairly
not too
small
bad for now, but
basic
towards the
fundamental
back
of the
spawn as
game.
well. It's been blocked off. Udotan, though, still able to land a bit of a shot.
Oh,
And
Udo.
Jit Boys as well. Jit Boys are taking so
Oh
much
my
damage.
goodness.
He's now going to have to hide away. You know he's trapped.
I can't believe we didn't get that kill.
And it's a two-man push out from spawn. They got to take out Jit Boys first. That's a
Nice
easy kill.
swing.
And the second one, good crosshair displacement for Poppy.
Yeah,
And a
very nice
repeat
from Udo.
From all 3 members.
Retake protocol.
Udotan to repeat at the end of the day out from B side with the breach, with the recon.
All right, we go for an aggro
That's
B.
a deep recon as well. You
with
have to give him
chamber in
so
mid.
much space here. Oh, to get
This was a little pocket play that I made. So we had this this B push. This is like a pretty standard play. I'll get a Val plan actually real quick. I remember making this because like we wanted an aggressive B play. So we've got the breach. He's going to be stunning something like this. We've got the jet coming into here. And then there's going to be a Sova dart over the top And I felt like this was not quite complete. We needed something else, like for the reaction, if they weren't here or if they were trying to fall out of this area. And the idea was basically like, okay, well, if they're falling out of this area, or, you know, trying to rotate away from the pressure, then we want to kind of lock them, and we want to take advantage of our chamber. So I added this little part to our strat, because the teleport, which was actually a little bit smaller at the time, I think it was just enough to get into this corner. So we added the smoke like this. Chamber runs across, drops a trip in the smoke so he doesn't get shot from behind, and then comes and holds this angle for the reaction in middle. Because usually a team is going to have maybe a lurk here, or if they are middle and they hear this here, they're probably going to take space and maybe come around behind, unless they speed up A. So this was like a little bit of an extra play that we added to this playbook.
Oh, that's a deep recon as well. You have to give up so much space here.
Derek comes across, and boom, catches Ban completely off guard, teleports back up.
That's the top of the screen down. Poppy still anchoring.
Great reactions from Derek and Poppy so far.
What GE wanted even last week was just let Poppy do his thing on the A site. We try to take space elsewhere. This time they get what they want.
Works out.
I'm the head coach of XYZ team with a full freedom to build my lineup. What's my roster? 4 Osbos cloned 3 times. So him and 3 clones, and then give me Angel as the IGL.
Drawing out the Baron Mash as well, so maybe regrouping, breaking that down, and using the drone to re-clear that space up into heaven gives them more options into the site.
It's a nice pick out from Cruz, but they have to continue to play aggressive. With a nice
okay, good trade. Getting a little bit sketchy though.
To his advantage. They still have ults as well for Talon if they want to make sure they can secure this round.
And possibly anticipating that they are playing that post-plant position with the ults as well, so maybe needing to kind of push out against it. But Cruz hanging further back. Now's the timing to set up that Hunter's Fury. Sends off those beams. Shitboy's able to hold out the front side of things as well. But Poppy's still able to fight back. Now holding the angle. Spike getting stuck. Kelly is.
Ooh, just enough time. Okay. Starting to make a little bit of a comeback. I kind of forgot how this map went down. This map was very close though. We almost 2-0'd them.
Same time, just so much impact from one player, Poppy, in these rounds on the map for GE. Next round coming through, and
okay, we've got a little bait set up in A.
They're continuing to switch up their setups. It's Darian alongside Yudotan on towards A now, trying to hold for that information.
Kind of an interesting double push.
That was meant to be a trap play there for Yudotan, just hiding him away with that trademark, but now they realize it's not going to happen, so you just leave the operator alone, trying to go for a fast rotate, but you're already a step late. The Neon starts charging in, grab net launch. Can you hold on to sight? Crystal.
Okay, nice shot by Crystal. Little
swing.
double peek.
Still alive with 2 kills on the board.
He's probably fucked. How does he get 3? This guy's a wizard. Oh, he's going to get... Nope. Dodges the shock dart. Yudo comes in, cleans it up. All right, we're feeling pretty good at this point.
What a good hold, the duo between Crystal and Kelly.
Yeah, very nice side hold by Crystal and Kelly.
Bonded together, they're on the site. Good.
Yeah, I think we do actually get a lead. I think you're right.
And a good read as well. Slowly
figure out, what Talon's movements are, slowing down Ben, or at least stopping him in his tracks. Really stifles their momentum. And once again, we're back.
Early contact from the Jet.
And this time, it's a bit of a
with Poppy playing much closer.
For Poppy, right? You're holding out.
You can see also we've adjusted things. Last week, when we played this, or the last game that we played this, Crystal was playing here constantly, and he kept dying. So you can see that he's been playing a lot more towards A site, a little bit more towards Heaven, and he's very rarely just playing back in Bend. So we did make that adjustment, which is very good.
Far back on that angle, Poppy not showing up on top of the box on danger, and he's just holding close next to his smokes. They will force Talon to move.
Trying to get proactive in middle.
The map. They've kind of just been spearheading through the moment they get a chance. The moment they get contact, they choose it. Is it A or B?
We've got super good info on A.
Now it's not working, but you have a lot of room to re-clear mid and A main.
Playing pretty passive in middle, but
possibly through vents, but right now just
okay. Crystal goes for the ult in reaction to Derek. This one not bad. Ooh, catches the Astra sitting. That's pretty good.
Yudotan, just on the timing of it, spots out Ben as he tries to make the movements happen.
I love this from Yudotan as well. He does get taken down, but it's such a forward position to try to get a read. Did they leave A main or not? Oh, but that kill?
Yeah, we were not ready for that.
Governor.
That's
Continue
tough.
to be bait. He's not quite checking for Evan. Too many
Timing.
room to check alone. He's stranded.
Okay.
Talon, they couldn't
3v2. They're running back into Poppy.
Are we grouping up or not? They're kind of wishy-washy, and now they're late on the rotate. Poppy should be ready for this to just buy time before the spike gets planted.
That's why that smoke is up. Another star up by Danger as well. He hears the hop and sets up.
Man, watching this back, oh, it's so painful. Like, our Abyss was so shit, and I made the call, like, yo, we got to go G2 comp. We implemented the comp. We actually looked pretty good on it. Fuck, man. If only we had won this map.
Smoke, but now footsteps into
Only we had won this map.
Gets the kill, and then the spike drop. 15 seconds left, and Poppy still able
Poppy,
double back to hold
the anchoring
down that
goat.
spike. 6 rounds for
Poppy, the anchoring goat.
The indecisiveness really biting Talon there in that round.
Ooh, man. Really definitely starts to hurt, especially in the
Okay, just going to keep our same setup. We're having a lot of success with the chamber in A.
last round, the first half
Anchoring
right
over here
now.
on B.
But then trying to come in with the stack into the B site now. Just trying to flood on through with that fast lane. Governor.
Oh my god. I remember this, like, because they already caught Kelly with this once, and they catch him with it again. I remember watching this and just be like, oh my god, they cooked us again. Because this is like a off barrier deadlock net that lands right here, and then he runs up and ults him, and he just knows that somebody's caught here. They did to us twice. Oh yeah, and there was a suck here because he's netted, and then he gets sucked into the open, and then deadlock ulted.
Annihilation does connect into Kelly, yes, but Yudotan with the off angles, a second kill, looks for the third.
Insane kills from Yudotan, but good trading from Talon to get in there.
It's the annihilation that connects into Poppy as well. So back to even numbers now. Darren on and off.
Last round.
You think he overpeaked here? I think he's kind of fucked. Catches one, catches two. I mean, he's trying to tuck and live here. He doesn't have any support. He's walled off. There's no way. He has to just fight for his life here. So I think he did pretty well, honestly.
It's the
considering.
that connects into Poppy as well. So back to even numbers now. Darren
I'm pretty sure we win this round, though. If I remember correctly, I think Derek actually gets two here.
To draw their attention, trying to get them to peak, and if not, he does have his teammate Chris draw their
Damn, how did he miss
attention,
that
trying
shot?
to get them to peak.
Hello? Is this not through this guy's body?
And if not, he does have his teammate Crystal. He's already
Did that go through his legs or something?
But they're ready for it. They realize something's off. It's just the op shots. That's a distraction. We gotta keep our eyes peeled. Darion gets one. It's a good distraction. The timing's perfect for Crystal. Now trying to scout out where the last member is. Time not on the side of GE. They still need to get the kill and go for the defuse. Tries to jump. Ban gets one kill. Crystal just keeps him at bay. He's trying to stick to half, but Ban is
Ooh, okay. We don't win the round. It was close. It was close. 6-6. Not a bad half considering where we recovered from.
Open up a chance even for each day to.
All right.
Not personally, not really.
Attack half on Abyss. It should be all right. It should be all right. You would think.
6.
Okay, so mid to A.
And our plan on pistol on this map, I believe, was just 5-person hit B site because the map is too wide. The defense is never going to have enough people here. So just run it down.
Screen right now. That way you can always try to vie for mid control, but also push out of A. When they re-clear, they still have to spend a lot of utility. And look at that A setup. If they get contact, the Neon is meant to try to draw them into a chase, and then there's Sonic Sensor.
Constant change is definitely part of the problem.
Just classic Jit Boys anchoring alongside Ban.
They're trying to spam through the smokes right now at least, but still not quite able to find too much. A bit of damage into which Jit Boys.
Okay, we get in. Unfortunately, the spike is kind of late.
They suspect it. They'll push him back out. That's important. He's going to be able to give up that
But
space.
Yudo gets good info.
Back in. GravNet out as well, just in case he was
The GravNet out.
But able to hold out.
Ooh. Yeah, Derek's teleport. I remember this.
Out as well, just in case he was right around the corner, but able to hold out.
He teleported 1 meter in the open.
Big pickup from Governor there. just making sure that he's ahead, making sure that they can disrupt some of the positions. But Kelly S, do they check for him? It's a good setup with Yudotan. It's a good crossfire. Yudotan gets the trade, keeps
Yeah, nice post plant position. Good spot by Yudo.
4v2, Talon no longer having any form of an advantage. There's a fault line just to keep the Neon at bay, and Kelly S is just dancing in between these.
Very nice. Good pistol.
Deadly. Good job of making it. It's not a from GE.
All right, I've already answered this question like 10 times. I'll answer it one more time, and I'm never answering this question again. Why do we let go of Kelly S? Because him and Crystal could not play together. We had to pick one IGL. They both were trying to call too much, and they contradicted each other a lot in the game. It wasn't working. We tried to fix it. We tried to get them to play together. It just wouldn't work. So we had to let go of one and pick one of them to be our IGL. Our team preferred playing with more freedom, which is how Crystal called, versus how Kelly wanted to call, which is a lot more structured and rigid and protocol based. So we went with Crystal because more of our players wanted to play the way that Crystal called than they wanted to play the way that Kelly called. Both of them were good players, solid IGLs, good people. They just didn't work together in a team, so we had to pick one. End of story.
On the site, and now we go on to the anti-eco from GE.
Once again, that wall.
Oh, that's a good hit. Darion just holding it long.
Okay,
range
hefty
well.
hefty
Some of these
anti-eco.
aggressive push outs, but holding just on the railing. Jip Boys is, I mean, he's basically committing, right? He's saying, I'm just going to hold here until I get a kill. Oh, they get the spot. Is it going to be a double swing? No. They want to even plant Jip Boys. They're really committing out to this fake. I mean, if he can get a kill, it would be great, but do they ever quite peek out?
Okay, we see. Interesting that we call to go back to A. I don't. Not sure what's going on here. I feel like we have fucked this round up a lot, actually. Because the idea with these rounds is to send the guy with the outlaw or the marshal to find contact. So we see one person jump spot here. We invest the drone to clear A main. And then we decide to just go A. I think on an anti-eco, you need to just take this space. Or you got to give this guy more time to look for contact. And then if you're going to go into the space, I think you have to use the drone to actually go into sight. And actually take the space. We kind of use the drone for nothing here.
It would be great, but do they ever quite peek out? I was wondering if Darion maybe even tries to get ahead of it to peek below from above, but obviously with the toxic screen there, you're opening yourself up when that screen goes down.
So far, not really. Jit Boys will continue.
You can't wait for the next map. Yeah, it's gonna be the big reveal.
There's nobody there. That should be quite a bit of information as well for Talon.
Oh, and this commitment to B, they know they can buy time with the Bear Mesh on A. However, they now realize Jit Boys being sent all the way deep for the
okay, so Talon gambles wrong.
Will be broken and the rotate is going to be late.
We're going to get onto site. Jit Boys is very fast behind us, which is a little scary.
Takes a bit of time.
I swear to God, if we get eco'd here, I'm going to rage.
On top of the boxes. And a little bit of crosshair displacement as well, but back into it. The spikes has been planted.
We fully get off the site, which is a little scary.
Yeah, I mean, I think
okay, Derek back on. I think this is better.
Sure, you have position. Yes, it's a 5v5, but you only have classics. You didn't invest anything extra into this. No reason to overextend. The only thing will be Jit Boys. He's already on the flank. See if he can get an exit. If not, he needs to make sure that he goes down to one of the opponents, or maybe even just jump off the stage here, because there is no further chance.
Okay, so they're just gonna play to die to the spike. They don't want us to snowball. Alt orbs, which makes sense. Good call by them.
Those extra kills on that. We are going to see that extra investment come out from Crystal as well. He gave up that Sheriff trying to get those extra kills on that last round, but now on their bonus, he's able to match that.
Okay, we're going to go. So this strat is a B split. The idea being that we just try and get up here as quickly as possible. And then once we get to this position, we're going to breach stun this, I believe, and try and kill the people that are in this garden/labs area or whatever this is called. And then we'll come late with the spike onto B site while these players come to deal with the players that are crunching them from middle. But this needs to be done like full commitment. It has to be done very fast. Otherwise, it becomes very easy for these players to come shoot you in the back. So let's see whether we actually commit to this well enough for this to work.
Firepower, so that's an extra Vandal now in their hands.
Bought up and pushing up through this toxic screen already.
Yeah. Okay, I remember this round now. So we need to not be freezing here. We thought we were maybe like caught by this drone, but on this strat, if we stop here, we lose the round. So we needed to just continue. Poppy did a good job of breaking the drone from back here. I don't think these two players were seen, but they needed to be more confident in actually taking this duel. Because when they get stalled out here, it makes the round really bad.
The drone might have spotted out a little bit more as well.
It's a fast hit. Toxic screen completely ignored, and you expect to push out, but Darion not able to really clear the inside of that smoke. Good trade from Kelly S, but that's the spike down.
Oh, actually, okay. No, this is a different round. There was a different round where I think we got stalled out here. This round was actually pretty good. It was also just a really good reaction from Talon. Like, they know that there's heavy pressure coming middle because of the drone seeing kind of like a weird mid thing happening. So they decided to go re-clear this, expecting like one person to be here maybe. They end up actually killing two, and it kind of fucks the round.
Now, Ban, he needs to be
So
careful.
actually just a really good play by Talon.
He's going to be open from a lot of different angles. He's just going to have to fight his way out.
Holds it from the closest off angle, but ooh, it's Yudotan that he's playing against. So instantly Spike
Nice
picked
re-clear
up,
by Yudo,
Breach
though.
planted onto the side, the full 3-on-3 retake.
No, Poppy.
Am I only looking for tier 1 or tier 2 also? I mean, I'll take whatever offer I can get that's a paid gig, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to find a tier 1 team because my season was bad, and also I was released so late that there's like no time for me to find a team.
Yudotan gets ahead of it at least a little. Takes down Primi, goes in for yet another swing, has the dash anyway, but Crystal comes in to support as well. He spots out the barrel, Yudotan, and wants to go out for the kill, but it's Cruz able to strike back against GE. A round picked up by Talon.
Okay, I gotta go back to this. This was the moment, eh? This was the 2v1.
At least a little. Takes down Primi, goes in for yet another.
Okay, 2v1. Yudotan just needs to tuck here. Crystal just needs to tuck here.
Swing has the dash anyway, but Crystal comes in to support as well. He spots out the barrel.
I remember this. We went over this in VOD review several times. So we've got two options. One. Let's go back.
Takes down Primi, goes in.
Okay, at this point, Spike needs to just be played. Just play the Spike, or if we don't want this guy to get up here, then we need to coordinate a double peek. Crystal swings from heaven, Yudotan swings from lower, and if they swing together and they coordinate and they talk to each other, this guy dies 100% of the time. Because there's no way that he's going to kill this guy and this guy at the same time if they swing together. But Yudotan decides to fight. I don't know. He probably didn't comm this. Crystal decides to recon for Yudo, or just recon in general to see if Cruz is scaled up, and doesn't peek. So basically the only way that we lose this round is if they do exactly what happens, which is one swings, the other one plays for util. Obviously they did not communicate well enough, and this is going to cost us the map.
For yet another swing, has the dash anyway, but Crystal comes in to support as well. He spots out the barrel, Yudotan, and wants to go out for the kill, but it's Cruz able to strike back against GE.
Nope. Nice shots by Cruz, but honestly, we should never be losing that.
I just gotta win these fights. Oh, very quick on that pickup against Yudo, and then he's just ready for it. Obviously, both Silvas knowing the location of each other. However, that was their buy round, so that's where it's going to still sting a little bit for Talon. So you'll collect some of the half armors, but you're just going to hold on to the.
We do have a good eco though, because I think that that was potentially a bonus, so that would have been massive if we'd won the bonus. But now we are just on our first gun round.
Just trying to keep that in mind.
Get Darion walked up, farm the orb.
Defensive setups now. A little bit slightly different, just to kind of pad up the A side a little bit more.
Yeah, I like the sonic sensors here, so that if you choose to try to wrap around on
re-clear
bridge,
middle,
really flank onto that back site,
re-clear through the wall, get Yudotan deposited at bookcase or library.
Not seeing anything. Talon trying to get ahead of the movement.
Creating a
Drone
bunch of
gets
pressure
spotted
in
on
middle.
At the same time. And so both the Silva and the
What's
Chamber
the plan
know each
here?
other's location. Okay, a little ballsy from Cruz, but
What the hell?
and so both the Silva and the Chamber know of each other's location. Okay, a little ballsy from Cruz.
Yudo
but
gets
Governor
picked in
with a nice
middle.
pickup with the hero rifle.
Just being
I
able
feel like
to
that peak was probably not
back
great.
against mid. I mean, hearing that that drone from Crystal earlier before. Just the oppressive toxic screen again from Ban forces them to use util to re-clear mid.
Okay, with the barrier mesh out, now on that timing, past the minute mark onto A main as well as Talon, all eyes trained onto mid. It has to be a flank no matter what, otherwise it's a wild rush in the last 20 seconds. Looks like right now it's going to be that B-side
and then we just get fucking doubled. That's tough, man. That is tough. Let's go back and watch this death from Yuto.
We might be on.
Holy shit, what a
Running all
shot.
3 maps, he wants maximum Pacific Valorant, and we might be on track.
I mean, honestly, I don't even necessarily hate the peak from Yuto. It's not great because I think we were trying to, like, we'd already pressured middle a bunch. We probably didn't need to repeak this, but that's also just a fucking unbelievable shot from Governor.
To try to make his dreams come true once again here in week 2.
Very, very possible, especially with how every.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that we happened to fight the only guy with a rifle. We didn't know where the Neon was, but we happened to only fight the guy with the rifle.
Quite the best map that they cooked up.
Can we assume a comeback of Valorant Ascended? Maybe. I'm not totally sure if I will enjoy making that type of content, but maybe.
Using a 6-6.
Overall, never quite faced.
I was about to say. In terms of
Okay, so we're gonna buy up because we've got jet knives. And it looks like we're just gonna run a B slam.
that Viper and the double controller on the side of Talon is too oppressive for a mid battle. So going in fast onto that B site. Now I wasn't quite sure if it would be a 5-man hit, but that looks like to be the plan off of the timeout for GE.
So straight on, strong hit into the site. Yudotan with the blades.
Take a free B site.
Whole site's been vacated.
We should feel pretty good about this.
Earlier, if you go for a 4-man hit and try,
we decide not to overpush, which I love to see.
There's a very big likelihood that there's.
We've got the breach ult to win this potentially in post plant. How do we lose this round? If we lose this round, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Ready for it. Quickly falling all the way back. You still got that trademark as well, and the rendezvous from Darion. It's a bit of a risky situation.
We leave Derek on the site because he's got to teleport to get out. Okay, we use the. This breach ult might be a little bit too early, to be honest.
We'll have one more chance.
Yeah, watching for it. Bit of a rolling thunder as well, just to buy further time too. It does connect into so many of the players from Talon. And here
works out very well for us. Honestly, pretty good post plant. We also hit some crazy shots. Okay, so we win the round, as we should. We get a free site. We've got breach ult for post plant. We should never lose that round. So, good job, us. Okay, go into an A default. Back to farming the breach ult. Got 2 anchors in middle and on B, holding for aggressive push. Yuto clears the right.
They know they're coming.
Trying to break it. Remy thinking about pulling out the utility.
Okay, I don't love this. Why are we droning here?
He holds.
We already cleared the right, so I don't really know why we're droning this.
Barrier mesh off the drone to make sure there's no quick follow.
We do get the dart and the wall out.
So now that's a bit of util and a bit of a rotation being pulled over to the A site now.
Oh my god, we can't.
Yeah, the
okay.
Operator being repositioned, not quite.
We break the wall.
Just yet. Darion never peeked out. So this is the whole idea after that timeout, right? Is put pressure on one side. Do they push out of mid? Then Darion picks up the kill. But you're never really going to try to aggressively fight in mid because you just don't have the advantage. Now with a lack of information, GE, they want to.
Okay, I do not like this. I really don't like this. So I think the plan here is we've made a bunch of pressure here. We're just going to go B with the group now. And we're going to do sort of like late pressure A to try and hold people here while we go into B. But for whatever reason, Yudotan and Crystal are just like peeking out into A site while we're in the middle of our rotation to B, which doesn't make any sense. Like, these guys need to just chill. They need to wait for potentially a walk re-clear from Talon, because Talon has just used their recon. So they might need to like re-clear this with their bodies, which would be perfect. And then once we actually get grouped up over here and are ready to go into B site, then these guys can make pressure here A, which might draw the rotations in this direction as we go into B. But these guys are going way too early in A main.
Do they push out of mid, then Darion picks up the kill. But you're never really going to try to aggressively fight in mid because you just don't have the advantage. Now with a lack of information.
Yeah, this is way, way, way too early. These guys need to be like here and ready to go into B before these guys actually peek out.
GE, they want to go for a fake, but already Crystal taken down. Yudotan, not quite spotted. Oh, maybe it looks like he has been. Util trained. Uh-oh. He's just gonna hold on. They're not quite sure if he's still there or not, but Yudotan's just.
Is Yudo gonna call us back? Yes, he is.
Position closer towards the
Yeah, he heard them running off.
Such a good spot. He wasn't spotted or anything, but now
We're coming back, but this is actually okay. So this is this is actually a fucking crazy round. So what's happening here is that because Ban has pushed up this far, he's expecting. And part of this is because our timing is so bad on this is what's making this work super well for Talon, but also making it very just awkward. So Ban has the read that, okay, they're trying to fake A, so they should be coming up B like as the A players are making contact. So Ban's expecting them to show up on his screen. And so when we don't show up on his screen because we're a little bit late to get here, he reads that, hey, they are coming back to A. And in reality, we were actually coming B, but we were late to get here. It's either that or this is the most elaborate, like crazy Ban has a read. Okay, they're not B yet, so make a sound bait at A. One of these two things is happening. Either way, it's because Ban's position is really good here. And he's going to just say, you know what, they're not actually coming B. So go back to A or hold the positions A.
Then you gotta look for Ban's position closer towards the B site. It was such a good spot. He wasn't spotted or anything, but now GE thinking back to rotate.
But they heard him. Ban heard them start running. You look at the positions. Talon, they're still holding strong. And Jitboy's just making sure it's not a wraparound through mid. This is going to be an absolute crash, and they just have to sprint in for the spike. It's only 10 seconds left. The op trying to get a shot, and there's the overdrive. It takes down.
Yeah, and it's just too easy, too easy. It's a good read from Talon, but we made it too easy for them.
That's danger.
Can't quite get the spike down safely, anyways. So
what was the weakest point of the GE roster compared to other teams? Our synergy together, our teamwork, basically.
And now this time it's a forward position with the operator on the A side. So similar concept.
We out-aimed basically everybody in the league, but our teamwork was not very good.
To be able to get that pick, you're trying to make Talon to get curious. Use a drone, peek back out. You know.
Okay, early deposit of the chamber in A.
Really been able to go for those fast rotates.
Deploying drone.
Drone out, looking for the operator.
Still, though, I mean, drone out towards B side now.
Okay, we should be popping on this guy.
Will be, are they aware of Ban's position while they hunt for Jitboys? Because it's going to be a double setup. Ban already gets one. Now it's a double on the site, Yudotan. But Jitboy's still alive, and he's in position to start to
that was a big duel on Poppy there in heaven.
Jitboys actually doesn't.
I feel like we played this round pretty well.
Are they aware of Ban's position while they hunt for Jit?
But this duel is kind of everything, because if Poppy kills the Viper, then we get deeper into sight. Jitboys probably gets punished here.
But Jitboy's still alive, and he's in position to start to back out safely to regroup. Backup has arrived. Jitboys actually doesn't quite need it.
Do we just not smoke heaven? Is that what happened? Like, why?
Deploying drone.
Why didn't we smoke heaven
yeah,
here?
Still though, I mean, drone out towards B side now.
Wait, why didn't we smoke heaven
The
here?
real question will be,
I genuinely don't know. Why didn't we smoke heaven here? Do we not have smokes? We should have smokes. Do we not have stars available? No, we have 2 stars in pocket. We do smoke heaven.
Are they aware of Ban's position while they hunt for Jitboys? Because it's going to be a...
Okay, we do smoke heaven, but Ban's already out. Okay, I see.
And he's in position to start to back out safely to regroup. Backup has arrived. Jitboys actually doesn't quite need it. He's going to take down Yudotan as well.
Well, this round is over.
Elves
Not much we can
catching
do
a bit of
here.
peak wide outside of Rafters. Next round coming through now. and the
Okay, a
adjustment's
couple
gonna be
stingers,
stack
couple
on the B side
sheriffs
for
trying to go
Talon.
fast on B
The
again.
operator as well. Oh, and he catches Yudo before he takes full.
Nice shot by Governor.
Shutting him down.
To it as well.
Timing was a
Next
little bit
Stroke's
off
able to
from our
still
util.
hold the ground, especially with that op again.
It's just going to be a reset from GE. They
Yeah,
don't
and then
really
we just have to
information anywhere
freeze
else,
because we
right?
can't
It's
really
just all
dive
in,
the site
especially
now
given
without the
that
jet.
It's not really a strong buy. You just had that stinger in hand.
Hopefully
and
Crystal
the
doesn't put his
Sheriffs.
ult into
So
this
they just
round.
hope that the silence is going to bait out Talon to reset, which it does, but Talon's not missing out on much either. They still have an operator. They
I
still
think
have the
Grumble,
numbers
Udo,
advantage.
Crystal, Foxy
They
9,
will
and
just
Kalios
with
would
the
have had
regroup
great
still
success. No,
heavier
because
towards
Kalios and Crystal don't work well together in a team.
You got the numbers, why not? And Primi is safe enough on the A site, so straight into it.
Also, you've got some like crazy roll overlap there too with Grumble and Foxy 9.
Global trying to sneak on through with the smokes. They've managed to keep themselves towards backside. The wall bang not quite connecting. So at least the spike goes down. Crystal from long range with the Sheriff as well, still able to connect it.
Oh, you don't want to give these 1v1s if you're Talon using that.
Okay, so now we're in a position where, oh my god, fuck, these rounds are so painful to watch. Okay, so we get to a spot where the spike is planted. We're 4v5. We're in post plant. We get a pick. Now it's 4v4. Now it actually makes sense to use the Sova ult to try and win the round, even though it's an eco. However,
With the Sheriff as well.
it would make a lot more sense to use this ult to deny the spike plant, or to deny the defuse when they have the Astra ult. So we need to be playing on site, which we're doing because of the Astra ult. But now Crystal decides to preemptively use his ult to try and fight these guys while we're fighting them in front of the Astra ult, which I guess is not the worst
Still able to
choice.
connect it.
Oh, you don't want to give these 1v1s if you're Talon.
But he uses it too early. He's ulting way too early. It needs to be like once we make contact, once we give him the location, because he's kind of ulting blind. I mean, the timing's not that bad, but it's a little bit, I don't know, it's tough. It's a very tough decision. I can understand why he's ulting here. He's trying to help everybody on site fight for this, but also you kind of want the sub ult to be like the last thing that's used. But also kind of makes sense to try and use it to fight.
Comes on, just coming out from Crystal. Is it going to be able to? No, it's just going to buy time. Not
Yeah,
really doing too
we
much
kind of
damage.
miss.
Now already onto the side. That's a good catch with the grab.
I
net
do
as
wish that
well.
we had it for
Crystal
this,
all
but
alone, just has to go for the shock darts. It'll get some chip damage in, but someone already pushed
you know,
up.
because
Yes, he
it's
gets
so
the
close to
troubles,
winning this
but the
round if we
round
just
will
had like
still be
just
going
Hunter's
over
Fury
to
now,
Talon.
but oh well. Talon goes to 11.
To make sure they can group up. They have the confidence that it's going to
What are my thoughts on a roster between English speakers and non-English speakers? I think it's hard. You have to have good English fluency on your IGLing. Like on your main voices, those two people need to be very fluent in English because otherwise the communication is going to be messy.
Thinking about how G might be able to fight back, but so far
All right,
B
we're
hits
we're
not
struggling
working
on
out.
attack. We can't hit
If
B
you
for
think about
whatever
it, that's
reason.
where now the Viper Spit comes up.
Viper Spit on
Almost
top
get
of the
picked
sonic
middle.
sensors. That's a rough site to get into. So the only thing we should
Darion's
worry
going to
about
go
is
for
gonna be that
contact
plan.
here.
And Primi's ahead of it. They know they gave up some mid control. He's up on heaven, waiting for that vent store.
We
to
deposit
break.
Udaton here, which I
Sonic
think is
sensor
good.
As well. And then a nice catch from Jit Boys. GE starting to fall apart. They're all
Yep,
over the place.
starting to
and
get
just giving up these
picked.
free peeks. And there's another one for Governor. He knows the chase has to come through because otherwise GE, they would have to
Too many
all the way
individual
back around spawn.
1v1s
Left on the
just
clock.
lost.
Only option to
And it's going to be map point.
affording at least the kill.
Let's go to the next round.
Darren in with the tour de force.
Yeah, it has to be Darion, quite frankly, right? A lot of the macro hasn't been working out for your favor. So they're going to try to hold them off on A.
Okay, we go for fake A pressure, which kind of baits them into a reclear, but they immediately know that it's a fake. So if we're going to do this, we need to be ready to hit B.
But that toxic screen again makes peeking out
We
of
need to
that
be
aim
ready to go
so
right
easy for
away.
Talon. You just take it step by step. And Darion, he's just going to look for these rotations. But Talon, do they even commit?
The super deep drone is nice from Talon because it confirms that it's a fake, which is going to allow them to over-rotate to B, which It's going to make our timing have to speed up. Let's see if we actually speed up our timing to beat this.
Now a slow creep towards B as you hear the drone coming in, but you never were meant to fill this site. Look at Jitboy's position. He just wants to hold on to back site.
Okay, I'm not totally sure what Yudo's looking at here. Maybe... Did Poppy use a smoke earlier? Okay, so we used one smoke here. So we only have one smoke for the B hit. We use the smoke heaven, which means that this is open. Maybe this was not communicated to Yudo. Maybe he was expecting this to be smoked and didn't realize that we'd use a smoke here. So now that we don't have a smoke for this, he's just going to walk out and die. So a little bit of a micro mistake or a communication problem.
This is all GE has. It has to be the B side.
That is probably going to cost us the round.
And they're going to have to try to hold it so far back in towards Nest, back in towards main. You're watching for the potential flanks and in for the floods through stairs as well. At least the stars are up.
Crystal is going to go for a big wrap, but they've already walled this off preemptively.
Darren unfortunately gets gunned down by Jitboys now though from stairs.
We go. Oh my god. Early breach ult. Poppy just can't go into the smoke. The smoke honestly kind of saves the neon. Crystal's too late. Yep. All right, that's the map. All right.
Either you coming into the smoke for me when I'm only the shorty, or we're just dancing around until I get more backup.
What's up,
they
Dorito?
slowly just encroach onto that site, and then the moment Cruz gets that kill onto Kelly S, suddenly everybody floods right onto the spike. It's a great retake from Talon Esports.
All right. It's triple Senti time, guys. It's triple Senti time.
Pacific, and he's shining.
You guys ready?
Again. Talon playing their composition.
We'll go to the reveal of the triple Senti.
Who is the better?
And then we'll talk about it.
What did the fans think?
So
49.
You got some time to win them over with whatever you got, but we do have map 3 on the horizon here. It's Lotus, and we got Remy on the Clo. We got Ban on the Deadlock. Oh, we got Tejo and Chamber. Okay. Break this down, guys, because they're still cooking.
This is so fun. We have Deadlock versus Deadlock on Lotus, which is something we don't see a lot. The Chamber, I'm like that they've gone back to it. I think Chamber can bring a lot on Lotus. I think it lets you lock these angles, and I also think it gives you this kind of contacty more style on attack where you're able to kind of explore space.
What are GE gonna do on attack? They've got a stealth drone and that's it. Triple Sentinel. What are they gonna do to take space, Vic?
I'm so excited.
Okay. So before we get into the map, we're gonna talk about the triple Sentinel. You guys have been asking about this probably all year, so here we go. The first thing that I'm gonna show you is this. I might not be allowed to show you these names, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Here's our triple Sentinel scrims. At this point, we were 14-5. We were averaging 8 rounds per defensive half, 6 rounds per attack half. So we were averaging 14 rounds, 1 per scrim. We'd beaten several good teams. We were killing people on defense. This is an attack-sided map to some extent. So our scrim results were good. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So obviously 3-site map, lots of space to hold. I was very, very confident that Vice was broken. We were one of the first teams to run Vice on this map in Pacific. Almost nobody was running it on this map when we first started scrimming it. Everybody was still running the Killjoy comp. So we were like, I think we might have been like basically the first team to run this. We were killing people on C. I knew that Deadlock was very strong as well because they just buffed the net. And the net here, that just like won every fight. Now, let's talk about the chamber. Why the chamber? I know you guys are asking, why the chamber? Why the chamber? Why the chamber? The reality is that this comp was supposed to be this: Vice, Deadlock, Sova, Astra, Yoru. This is what the comp was supposed to be. Okay. But we didn't have a Yoru player. So the idea, basically, like, at the time, it's also really important to like understand the context of when this comp was made. So at the time, the most popular comp on this map when we made this was Breach Neon. Breach, Neon, Omen, Cypher, I think, something like that, or Cypher or Killjoy, and then Fade, I guess. I think people were playing like this comp a lot. And so how everybody was playing this map is just like instant stun, neon stun, boom, like run it down, aggression on A. So basically the idea was that I wanted a character that could come out and take this initial peek and then escape. It might have been Teo Breach, actually. You might be right about that. But I think coming into it was this, and then people substituted the Teo. But at the beginning of the year, it was definitely Fade. But yeah, so it was like super aggressive, just like fight for this space. It was definitely Fade to start the year. So anyway, I wanted somebody that could come out here, get stunned, and live, basically, which was Yoru. Yoru was supposed to be the agent. Because if they weren't fighting for this space, then very likely they were going to be trapping somewhere else, right? If there was no stun here, this comp needs to take a lane very quickly or play for a trap. Otherwise, you can't really play the 3-site map correctly. So basically, every team was starting like this. They were stunning, or maybe Breach was playing here, I guess. They would stun like this. Boom. Neon would run it down. They would take the space. And then they could over-rotate to play in the middle of the map and play for C. So what I did is I wanted an agent that could come out here. If there was no stun, they could take this space, go open the door, and take A space. Or if they were trapping us, they could walk out and then maybe escape. So I wanted it to be a Yoru. However, we didn't have a Yoru player, so the next best agent to be able to do this, because this is after the Jet nerfs where you die if you get stunned because you can't dash very far, is Chamber. So Chamber is the next option. Chamber puts his teleport here. Chamber can walk out. He can take this initial fight. If he gets stunned, he can teleport. He can tell his team, hey, there's 3 people fighting A, just go C. So then you just go C. Now, on top of that, what people don't really realize, or didn't realize at the time, is that Deadlock as a fighting agent is incredible. Like, Deadlock is kind of an initiator. And especially if teams are playing Neon, if you Deadlock net like this, with like Teo missiles like this, boom and boom, like, you basically cannot scale to Rubble. The only person who can really scale to Rubble is Omen at that point. This Deadlock net was so strong at this point that this basically wins you the fight initially. And so the idea was basically like, if we want to go A, we just Deadlock net, Teo missile. We can Vice flash through the middle like this. We can even potentially like Thorn here, Teo missile like this, whatever. Teo missile here. Like, we have so much utility that we can just immediately throw out here that we can just win the Rubble fight. And then if we win the Rubble fight with 5 people, we can just speed up into A and then play post plant with our sentinels, basically. You know, put the wall here, wall like this, put, you know, a razor vine here, put some sensors, whatever, you know, basically just like fully fortify the site. And then if we have to, we can always cancel into B and do the same thing. So basically we had like 2 defaults. One was the chamber comes out here, gets on the line, isn't harassed, can like take space and kind of walk up with an operator, or teleport out if they are fighting, or we just fight A together with everybody. So those are kind of like the two ways that we would play this map on attack. And then, like I said, on defense, we have so much utility, so many walls, so many traps, stuff like that, that we should be able to hold the entire map. And we were having a lot of success because people were like trying to run it down on B, running into deadlock stuff, dying. They were trying to run it down on A, getting picked by the operator, getting trapped by the deadlock stuff, dying. They try to go C, they would go into the Vice setup, Vice would kill 3 people, and they would lose. So we were absolutely fucking killing people on this map on defense because people had no idea how to play against the Vice yet. They hadn't really figured out how to play against the deadlock yet. And so we had a lot of confidence coming into this map. Attack was a little bit harder, but like I said, there was a game plan behind the attack. But unfortunately, as you can see, Talon were an early adopter of deadlock as well. And Frost is always good at sort of reading these new agents, and so he had game planned for Vice as well. So we ran into one of the teams in the region who had actually, theorized how to play deadlock, how to play Vice, how to play against these agents. And that caused us some problems because they knew how to counter a lot of stuff that we were doing.
GE, they're so big brain that they realize if we go 12-0 on the first half, we don't actually need to attack much. Like that's a plan. I mean, the guest mentioned it. Talon's been 13-0 on this map before. Now, I also want to bring up the fact that Talon, this is the composition they played when Primi debuted in VCT Pacific last year. This is a composition where they said, all right, Primi, come in, just frag out on Clove, right? Just go out, and he comes in, he gets a 4K against Team Secret in that very first round, and then they were able to win 2-0. So going back to a bit of a classic comfort pick, comfort composition for themselves.
I just love that they still have that 13-0 spray on them on the Talon side.
They'll never live it down themselves. They'll never let anybody forget.
So you can see the idea here is we had the deadlock net, and then the chamber took space. Now we get the chamber posted. Chamber's just going to watch this with the teleport here. 3 people grouped in middle to fight middle, and then we got the Vice setup on C. So we're in a pretty good spot defensively right now.
That's what you always kind of feel like when you're the one in the driver's seat, but right now, just a little bit of space in towards B already. Prowler to clear outside of Mound.
And just taking B first and then trying to...
So 1 minute is probably a little bit early to use this wall. We're trying to use the wall as sort of an info trip to some extent to see whether we need to go off of this area. This is probably a little bit too early. I don't necessarily love this wall here.
Yes, is it B or C?
But it does give us quite a bit of information. However, Talon understands what's going on. They're going to go try and trip the Vice wall at this point because they saw the Vice over here.
Governor seeing if he can get a cheeky little hit as they peek around the barrier mesh, but Global Esports not taking any chances. They already have full robo control, and then on C site, that sheer wall is still there. And this is why this Vice is becoming so popular across all the regions, across all the different maps, because if you don't ever activate that, it's so much information. But if you do activate it, I mean, there's so many different trap plays as well.
So at least just being able to lure and draw all of that out. I mean, it's already 2 walls from the side of GE that are drawn out. Now the salvos is...
And you can see Talon doing a very good job here being patient. They've baited out the deadlock wall. They've baited out the Teo missiles. They've baited out the Vice wall. They baited out the Vice thorns. And now they're finally going back into C. So they've played this round with a huge amount of patience.
Well,
and it's going to pay off for them.
A lot more options for Talon as they do commit back in towards...
You wanted to ask why Derek and Yuta didn't swap agents in this comp. So we did try initially Yutaton on Chamber and Derek on Deadlock. But Yutaton did not like playing Chamber, and he played Deadlock and ranked quite a bit at this point. And Derek's most played agent was Chamber. So basically that's the decision making.
Right now, still able to track Governor down, Poppy into the back site, but Jit Boys able to fight back. Now into the site, and that's where the Barrier Mash comes up from Ben to block off Waterfall. The spike will go down in favor of Talon.
Yeah, Chris is just going to be stuck there on his own, but he will be able to survive as Talon not taking any chances. They're going to back away from the Barrier Mesh. They don't want to take
3v3 retake.
fights. Ban looking for the flank. but they realize it's not going to be there. All three coming in from Waterfar. Is Talon ready? We've got the salvos online once again.
Ooh. Jin Boys inside of the smoke though. They don't expect that whatsoever.
Good
Darren
trade.
able to trade back, but now 1-on-2. He's got the headhunter, but can he really connect all of them? Swings out.
And then Talon just wins out the duels.
Things like the salvo that's on a 40-second cooldown,
man.
and then they find that opening.
This is where you really start to think, you know, we saw a triple duelist way before back in the day. Now we're seeing the triple.
Okay, so now in this setup on Eco, we're giving up A because we can't really fight for A that well without very much utility. I believe we are doing a salvo / net trap in B main here, and then we're trying to have the chamber just sort of like peek aggressively with his headhunter.
Sentinel, is this overcooking? Maybe not yet, because Darren is here and ready to play. Instant shot into ban, but has to back off. Rendezvous already used.
Probably again too early on the wall here. We should be saving this until later on in the round.
Takes a bit of a hit, but not really gaining too much value outside of that. Yeah, you take away the deadlock, that's going to weaken the post plant just a bit, but not able to recover any weapons, not able to upgrade anything, not able to keep control of C-Mount either. So Talon?
You can see Talon doing the human drone strat on Eco, something that we did a lot as well, where you send one guy out with an outlaw to try and figure out what's going on in the round.
They'll leave Governor alone. Now, he does have the Phantom. That always worries me a bit. When you leave the rifle alone, you never know when a nice headshot's going to take you out. But he'll just hold these off angles, see if they get curious to push out for extra
So
space.
wall breaks. They hear the wall break.
Around at least, but right now, Talon still with the guns, able to push out a little bit more effectively. They are doing their due diligence of clearing.
That makes you interested in the Icebox comp on stage too? Yeah, I mean, I just told him you're playing chamber. End of story.
Potential angles at the very least.
You can either play ISO or you can play chamber, and he didn't want to play ISO.
So little information that they might just consider going into B to go for a pinch alongside Governor. It could have spelled trouble, but GE got antsy. They started moving, which gives a little bit of space, but can he get out?
Oh my god, this is how did this combo not get kills? Crystal put the missile a little bit further back than the net was. Damn, this could have been a nice anti-eco or a nice eco kill here.
They started moving, which gives a little bit of space, but can he get out? It's just outside.
Somehow he kills 2 people. Damn, they killed 3 people. Well tethered. Unlucky.
Look at how he actually bypassed.
Unlucky.
Continue to peek out.
Tour de force as well. That's going to be very important. You mentioned, I mean, it's going to maneuver
Good pick by Derek, but good round by Talon overall. Okay, so now we're going to try and show our A fight. What's our A fight look like?
So you really do have to come up with some possible trap plays.
So as you can see, basically this is designed as we go net here, Teo missile here, Teo missile here, and then take the space. Oh, and then smoke here. Think of this. So there shouldn't really be anywhere for them to be.
Or at least the guided salvos to block a.
But you can see kind of a nice a nice adaptation from you can obviously tell that they've scrammed against Teo quite a bit. So they go double up here with a smoke to protect them. And then they try to kill people off the eye scan. So this is a nice little sort of like set take from Talon that's good against Teo.
A lot of it all early on towards Rumple, but still the spams work out not too bad. Governor gets away with at least one. Now tries to hang back. Prowler comes in for support.
Yeah, we have to note that Primi still hanging out by C as well. He's watching down with that outlaw. Doesn't spot anybody pushing up. The one way now gone. And he'll be able to start to re-clear some space. So Talon should still make some noise on A for the time being until the barrier drops, but they'll slowly pull away and try to inch towards C site.
Fan here still not spotting out too much. He's trying to sell that fake by rotating the doors over.
I mean, this is a crazy play from Ban. Like, just solo walking in here. This probably is going to win them the round. We've shown 3 people here. I guess they just assume like there's absolutely no chance that anybody's in tree, or he's just taking a chance. But yeah, he just solo walks through, not a care in the world. We've completely given up C because we've got the wall there to watch. So we've got 1 person watching B. We've got 3 people watching A. Ban finds the 1 gap that we have currently.
No footsteps whatsoever. The rest of his team slowly into their B side. That Prowler, though, does give a bit of a tell-away, and KeleS instantly calls for a bit of reaction. Crystal starting to kind of think back in towards a possible B pinch, but Ban continuing to push on.
Wins a huge duel.
And there's the barrier mesh as well, so no one going to be able to funnel in through. But Yudotan, I love this position. He has to get.
Yeah, Yudo takes a nice spot. Man, that is so tough, bro. Like, we actually, Ban made a nice play. We had a good reaction, and then we just whiff. And then we just whiff.
Covered it with a free kill himself.
Wow, and then a crazy shot from Cruz. Like, we actually played this fine macro-wise, positioning-wise, but then we just got owned. We just got shit on mechanically.
Now takes it upon himself to make sure that they can secure
Which is
this
tough.
Very likely bonus now, but KeleS.
Yep, this was our first gun round.
I believe Ban has spotted him out as well, so at this point, just kind of jiggling along even further.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much secured the bonus round already, but if you're able to...
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
Actual mid, so it's somewhat more one-dimensional. The reason it works on Bind is because there's no actual mid, so it's somewhat more one-dimensional in terms of the push and pull across the map.
But on Lotus?
Yeah, a lot of it is choke points, but on Lotus, I gotta see a bit more. Now, the Des mentioned it, Chamber, pretty good on this map. It's one of the ways to counter the old meta comp. So
that's crazy.
Another potential
okay, so now we're on eco. We got one gun save. We're just gonna 4-person fight A because we lost it with 3 people. So we're gonna try and just fully take this.
Once more. Oh, Salvo's a little bit further in now.
Yeah, ready to just fight on Rubble itself as a 3-man and then push forward.
And here we decide to commit the deadlock wall deep and rotate off, looks like.
They're not going to find it, so it's just a barrier mesh instantly for the rotate. Now, this can be fairly written. I mean, Primi already sees it as well. This is something that Talon's been so good at. They're just waiting to see, all right, is the barrier mesh used? Where's the shear wall? They want to draw out all that delay util, and they're getting it generally before the 40-second mark, which is amazing for Talon.
Stuck and held. Stealth drone to gather more information as well, but here comes Yudotan.
Some crazy sheriff shots from our team, fighting in.
All sheriffs, but it's still able to ring out thanks to the information that they're getting. Primi, though, in with the outlaw, knowing that they don't quite have the shields. He goes in aggressively for it. A bit of a wallbang into Yudotan, but
okay, we steal around here.
Rifle.
I remember thinking that we might be cooked when we go down 3-0, but stealing this round gave me a little bit of hope that we could come back here.
It was a good anti-flash, but not able to land before he's able to get that.
Okay, we get the operator up. We're gonna go again for the A stuff.
As well. So he gets 2 chances to show us why they picked the chamber.
Does have a good.
They go for their same take. Let's see if we have adapted to this at all. We have not. Oh, they actually changed it. This is nice. I gotta give Talon credit. They had a couple different ways that they did this. This time they're dropping the smoke in front of Rubble and double satchel / teleporting into it. Again, they've got the eye,
Have a good sight line at the very least.
which we just were not breaking. Nobody was breaking the eye. So Yudotan gets scanned and netted and dies.
Oh, and my governor! He just sprays into Yudotan.
But we do get a trade. However,
forward position,
not a good trade for the defense.
Over the course of 2024, Jit Boy's already through. Poppy's ready for it. That smoke can't just go out of it like that.
And then good response. Good response from Poppy.
Boy's already
but Primi just solo wins 2 duels. He's just running it down on B.
Can't just go out of it like that, but Primi instantly striking on the other side. Good adjustments on the macro rounds.
Just killing everybody on Clove.
Talon really brings up the speed.
Yeah.
Primi's just digging deep.
Takes a lot of space, kills 3 people, 3 individual 1v1s. And just like that, round falls apart. I think if I look back at this, like, I would say maybe that one of the main problems here with this comp is that if we feel like we can't win the Rubble fight, we have to bring so many bodies and use so much utility that it really opens up the rest of the map. So Talon recognizes that, hey, there's probably a gap because we're shearing this so there might not be something that is going to watch B if we're heavy here. Again, just like a nice reaction from Talon to find the gap in the comp.
Trying to get kills with the salvo rather than trying to block them from getting behind rubble. So it hasn't quite worked out. Holding on to the util for now. Kelly S, he knows something's wrong. He knows that the From the Shadows is here.
And then again, kind of like a nice little set play that works pretty well against our comp. Teleport past all of the Sentinel utility. Make this guy worried about here, and then go up and over the wall with the rocket to crunch on him.
To find a way out. They'll escape just in time.
Yeah, backs off into its
We
waterfall.
do stall. It's a good response from Kelly.
Extra annoyance for the
But now retaking with triple senti,
GDE. But this
probably
is
not going to go very
full
well.
site granted over for
Cruise
Talon.
is Talon's IGL.
They get to kind of hold even more space as well. I mean, look at how they're able to push further into towards spawn alongside
We do have drones and missiles, so we should be able to retake
that
this
one
space.
wing. Stealth drone does alert to Jit Boys at least that there could be a push coming out. But look at how his team comes back in just to stall it with paint shells. Armageddon sent through 2.
Yeah, Chip Boys doesn't really have an exit there, but Primi refills the area.
Yeah,
Into
Primi
Kale,
just shits on
get a
3
triple
people again.
off of the Nightfall. Primi
It's like, come on, man. We just cleared out this space, and he just ran in and killed 3 people again.
Look at how his team comes back in just to stall it with paint shells. Armageddon sent through 2.
Yeah, Chip Boys doesn't really have an exit there, but Primi refills the area.
The trading from Poppy and Crystal not on point. Scaling not good enough to trade out Uditon there. So now we're having some problems. 5-1. Confidence is a little bit low. We're supposed to be good at defensive side on this map.
You know, he can take some more risks. That's been sitting in his pocket for quite some time.
This could work out effectively, knowing that possible chamber or advise on the other side.
We go again, 4-player fight A.
This could work out effectively, knowing that possible chamber.
Leave
or
Derek
advise on the other
alone.
side. So
Oh no.
straight into the smokes, swapping over to the right clicks as well for cover. Onto the classic. Baramesh instantly
Kind of unfortunate that we call this when they exec C, but Talon has realized, hey, C might be a weakness, so we're just going to hit C fast.
up, and once again, another C site quickly taken by Talon.
Yeah, I love the switch into the classic there just to make sure that you're using it as that shotgun. And you hear the knives coming out from Crystal trying to break that barrier. So you know there's forces in Waterfall. This post plant, it looks solid from Talon.
Pretty much no
There's
chance
a
we win
trading
this
point
round.
on the site itself, not allowing GE to try to gain space. Only thing you're concerned about is that flank, but Ban, he has his eyes set.
Not much debate on it. You know they're working against the Sheriffs as well, so needing to stay tucked inside of cover. Ben will at least draw a bit of information out. Actually,
Okay, this round is over.
Coming out
I assume we call it timeout here.
out and nullify all this util before the 40-second mark. It's
pack in, especially because
Timeout.
right now.
Okay, there we go.
I would maybe just going
Timeout is called. What's the adjustment?
something like an O. And that
What is the adjustment?
maybe a bit of a double-edged sword. Being proactive.
for the chamber.
Okay, looks like our adjustment is to move the Vice to A, put the chamber on B, and have the Astra start anchoring C. Not fight for rubble so much. Try and spread out our resources a little bit more.
It's going to be an aggressive push out mid, but GE or Talon, do they have the read on this?
It's time we babysit the operator, which I do like.
That's it. You hear a phantom, but a
We go up and we play aggressively with the Vice, take a ton of space here,
little bit iffy.
which should allow us to cheat back into middle and B.
Because the only place you should really be going out is with that operator. So barrier mesh used to
Ooh, I wish we had babysat this a little bit more. But they do find the op.
Talon had the read on this for sure.
Yeah, has been, you know, daring on this chamber so far. So of course trying to make another op work once again, but it's already been drawn out. However, it is the Vice this time with a sheer wall
Not sure why Uditon has 2 sensors in pocket.
towards the A site. We'll see if Kalias can do anything with the setup.
Yeah, it's not really well positioned for him
Okay, early drone. So they're coming back into Kelly now. We see only the deadlock here. Nothing at C so far. Info's not great at the moment.
to try to get a kill off of it immediately. They will now set up the smoke as they
But
see
we
that
do have a
util come
decent
out. So
read.
that smoke should let you know that someone is watching out here to try to get the kills. That util come out. So
How
that
did they
smoke
bait
should let
this?
you know that someone is watching.
Okay. So they found the wall. Yeah, this wall is a little bit troll, to be honest. I think you can hear it now that I look at it. I remember thinking that this wall was good initially, but you can hear it from here, which is going to key you that you need to come bait this.
Out here to try to get the kills, and they hear it. So Shearwall already taken down before the 40-second mark as well. Now the only thing you really need to worry about is where is the deadlock? Where are those sonic sensors? But Jitboys hears it. It's a setup on the C side.
We double sensor.
More information being picked
They're
up
coming back into C.
I'm fully aware of what G's setups are right now, so being able to flood into
And
this
we have
C
so
side
many
pretty
traps,
off the back
but
lines, takes
it's
a
just
shot
not
towards
working.
Poppy, and that's a C side broken up.
I mean, this is just textbook. You save the pain.
I gotta say, like, the way that Talon is playing this map is really, really good. Like, they're totally countering all the stuff that we're doing. They're figuring out where every single person is, and then they're just ending where we have like the least stopping power.
It's thrown from long range right as it pops.
Like I said, during the match, I remember just being like, dude, they're kind of just playing perfectly against our comp. Like, nobody in scrims has done this. Every single team that we've played has been getting owned by our stuff. And Talon is just playing completely different than every single other team that we've played.
Send Governor in. He's passed. He displaces the crosshairs. Then you're ready for the trades. I mean, Vice, Deadlock, Chamber.
They played with so much patience compared to every other team that we played.
Right now.
Yeah, despite every single roadblock being set up against them, Talon are able to bypass it. And now with the spike planted, everyone holding out from Mound.
So I gotta give them mad props for how they played, and especially Cruz for how they called on this one. And we're saving again.
That's out now back vintage, but
okay, we go back to our A fight. Put the Vice on C because we can't seem to get the Vice in the right spot.
Has been Talon's game all throughout. Now back in towards C Mount.
Primi just accepting that. Okay, you know what?
Move.
Yeah, unless you spam, I'm just gonna stay here, not give that information.
We take A a little bit more passively, get the chamber on the line.
Yeah, so because of that aggressive Razor Vine, they were suspecting that the chamber might be pushing out. Once again, that it might be a setup, but not finding that, trying to just fish out for that location.
And trying to get ahead of things as well, and just continuing to press onto that rotating door. Doesn't spot anything on the other side.
I think one thing we really didn't do well enough is adapt to them baiting this wall. This is something that like teams learned after baiting the wall became normalized, but we didn't realize like how important it is to protect the Vice wall. We thought it was just like just kind of like a goated piece of utility with no weaknesses, but you really have to protect the Vice wall if you want to get the most out of it. And this is something that we just like hadn't really encountered, as somebody being super diligent about baiting this. So this is definitely kind of like an oversight on my part about how good Vice is.
Down, but Jitboys pushes back in just to find that trade. Darren receives a bit of contact in towards the A side as well, so fires off a shot, but unfortunately that Prowler forces him to rendezvous even further back again.
But it's still a wraparound. Crystal, he's ready for a cruise. He's not quite aware of that off angle.
This is a nice push up by Crystal.
That's the spike stranded. Two members of Talon separated from each other.
And I will say that this is something that we were doing a lot more in scrims than we did in this match, which is when teams were playing the sort of like slower pace, like they come and they find one of our traps and they don't necessarily execute, we would take space on the other side of the map a little bit more aggressively, which we definitely were a bit too afraid to do in this match. But also the way that the Talon was playing, like the tempo of their play was completely different than anything that we'd seen so far.
There's the paranoia he needs to survive the stun, just trying to buy time, but it's too close range, and Primi will close the gap.
In with the shorty. So that's the spike retrieve now. 20 seconds left. The Baron Mash comes up just in time. So it should be a really clear C hit. And the only one here to fend it off is Poppy.
But you have not dead yet. Primi has to be the bait.
Oh my goodness.
Try to draw that fire. It's a high-low, and it's a drop down from Jitboys. Enough time.
Oh, and then Yudo whiffs the ult. Holy shit. What a disaster of a round. We should win this like 100% of the time.
Draw that fire. It's a high-low, and it's a drop down from Jit Boys enough time for the spike to get planted. And what happened? What happened to the Annihilation? You know, Tiny still gets the kill, but the spike has been planted.
Does he win this
Not
round?
dead yet,
I can't
used.
remember. I feel like maybe we do win this
Now
round.
he's on the timer. At least just buying a bit more time off of the spike for Jit Boys to hold his
How
position.
important is making
Remy now
unexpected
pushes
changes
up
in
for the
games to
move in
win
towards
as
Waterfalls and
compared to
spot
playing
point
normally?
anything.
I mean,
Jit Boys
it's
has
really
to try to
important.
step in,
Like,
maybe a smoke to come up, but
you got to
it's
think
like
about
the
it from the
stairs.
perspective that,
So
like,
tricky for him to
if
play
a team
against.
is
Looking
seeing
around,
how
maybe
you
smokes
play
now, but here in the
or
front
how a
end,
comp
staring
plays, like,
Was a big
1,000 times, they're going to be able to react to those things. But if suddenly they have to encounter something that they've never seen before,
Chris still being in
then
play.
they have to make it up on
Talon
the
getting
spot. And a
spiked
lot of
down.
time, it's going to throw off their communication. It's going to throw off their teamwork. It's going to throw off their timing.
Round not quite there.
Is that Mr. Kyungwon? 안녕하세요.
Darren now being able to buy out the op. A bit of a higher setup just to throw things off in terms of positions, but still being able to thwart it by Talon with their utility.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt. You wanted to pick out that raise before Governor was able to land and get space, but he's not going to land the
Don't worry, Yudo. I've been flaming you the entire game.
shot perfectly. They got a little bit of chip damage while he landed, but that's going to be it. A good scan, but that really...
Okay, let's go back to the
Being
beginning
able
of this
to thwart
round.
it by Talon.
So,
Just to throw things off in terms of positions, but
we're playing a little bit
still being
more
able to
passively
thwart
on
it
A.
by Talon with their utility.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt. You wanted to pick out that raise
We're gambling heavy towards B and A.
before Governor was able to land and get space, but he's not going to land the shot perfectly. They got a little bit of chip damage while he landed, but that's going to be it. A good scan, but that really only acts to keep them tied up in A main. You've already given up that space, and now you have to reset if you want to react again with your Sonic.
Okay, I mean we're in decent spots. Like we have Op watching this line with a smoke. We've got deadlock net that we can use off the trigger of this. We've got 2 people in B with multiple pieces of utility, and then we still have the Vice set up at C. So we're in pretty good spots right now, even though we've been pushed back from A.
Sensors with your shear wall over on B and C.
And that's really what they forgot with this composition.
Revealing agent would be good on this. So we initially had a Sova. Initially the Tejo was a Sova, and we were doing very well with it. But we liked how Tejo allowed us to potentially win this A fight a bit better because of the missiles. And the combo with the deadlock net was super strong also. So yeah, we played this with a Sova and it was good. We played this with a Tejo and it was also good. But Tejo was obviously a broken agent, so we just went with the Tejo.
Position right now, so holding a lot of this the passive ground outside of pillars. Well, they don't quite have the utility to come back in and re-clear. The drone's already been used, so Crystal just staying stuck inside. Maybe you can work alongside some of Poppy's smokes. But then you're back in towards again.
Again, I mean, I just have to keep pointing this out. The time Talon is being so patient. Like they've found players. They kind of know where everybody is on the map. They know that Vice is C, so they're going to go into C now.
Sheer wall sonic sensors.
We are doing a good job of rotating over here.
Flood over the wall. You do have the paint.
Like we've got the rotations coming in, right? We're getting the people in the right spot. We know that they're not coming A because we've got the chamber trip here. So we're in the right place to win this round potentially.
You do have the Annihilation as well. They're clearing close. There's the Annihilation, and they actually catch the Vice.
Oh my god, it catches Kelly.
Draw now, Poppy, can you break it? It's too many targets. They use that against him. Poppy outs himself from behind the pillar. Yudotan now
Man,
on the site. The sure wall comes
that's
up.
tough. Wait, hold on.
Outs himself
Yudo, are you still here? You want to see a cool clip from yourself?
from behind the pillar. Yudotan now on the site. The sure wall comes up. And
Nice little
finds someone
double.
for Yudo. He's gonna
Boom,
run through,
triple.
defending the site on his own. Working around the barrier mesh, finds the
Oh,
point. He's not even
the
land
whiff.
shot, but so much time bought for Global Esports.
Spike planted.
Crystal, he wants this fight so bad, and he gets it. 2v1.
Okay, kills ban. Governor has rocket.
Opposite angles around the site. Governor skirts around the salvo. There's only so many positions he can be in. He gets
Nice
the
shot
bonus.
from Derek. Okay, cool.
Clean shot with the headhunter.
Such a huge round, thanks to Yudotan's efforts, but down to the end as well. Just
Yeah,
able to
thanks to
handle that
Yudotan's
even with the
efforts.
salvo to flush him out of position.
Thanks to
Tiny
Yudotan's
sliver,
efforts.
and
Good
Darren
round.
connects the shot.
Lined up for the shots from Yudotan.
Look at this guy. Look at this cutie.
And Talon gets caught, lined up for the shots from
Look at this cutie. Happy Udaton. If you had dot crosshair, you would ace. Yeah, I agree.
Next round now, and we're starting
I
to see
agree.
where maybe some of the scans can really.
Okay, we're doing all right at this point. It's not great, but we're starting to make a little bit of a comeback. We go back into triple fighting A. Looks like we're a little bit late to get to our setup.
Pull Talon across the map
Maybe because we were celebrating too much.
It's a bit of individual performances from players like Udotan, but hopefully being able to keep that forward. Darian now onto the door with the off. Doesn't spot too much out. It's covered over the showstopper to create a little bit more space for Talon.
Okay.
Trying to make sure
We'll
that
use
they
the
don't get
deadlock
caught in a trap play.
Wall.
Doesn't hold too much value. You're gonna hold close. Governor continues to push them away.
They're not into tree.
Towards A, so anytime that A to B rotate could happen.
And we're just heavy stacked in B.
They're trying to group up a bit more to try to fight back. This is the new GE
Good
way.
re-clear.
Will instantly get the re-clear.
Just continuing to hold down the baby door. Still though, Talon.
So our adjustments have been pretty good since we called the timeout.
Udotan snipes down the first, Darian for the next. And as they continue to try to
Yeah, our adjustments have been good since the timeout. We're playing more proactive to re-clear space. We're not fighting as heavy for A Rebel.
They're not going to give it to him. 5 members left to watch for Global
We're being a little bit
Esports.
more conscious of when we use our util, which is
Just hold
good.
angles. GE waking up and remembering, hey, in 2025, didn't we tell ourselves we're just going to take the fights? We're just going to go for the re-clears. Crystal, ready for it. Spots one. He's ready for the second.
Boom,
That's
triple
a
kill from
three.
Crystal. Nice.
Able to
All right, 7-4. This is doable.
Too much.
Oh my god, poor Rahul.
I mean, I
Poor
can only
Rahul.
imagine, you know, being one of these team owners, team managers, watching your team play when you know it might be doable. Oh, they're trying to bring it back.
Okay, totally different setup from us.
Watching your team play.
But you can see they've already omen ulted on us one time, so we're ready for the omen ult back here with Poppy.
When you know it might be doable. Oh, they're trying to bring it back. Okay, the attacking operator this time from back.
Ooh, but he cancels it at the last second. Okay, but what this does is it pulls us all the way back to here, so it should be a free C site.
Because now they recognize there's that counter aggression, and he sees it, but Darion's good with the
Nice
crouch
peek from
peek.
Derek.
Shuts him down. Once again, some breathing room gained for GE.
finding a bit of that duel. No rendezvous available now, so he's just holding it. Be looking for the baby door to escape, and that just could give Talon.
I mean, our rotations are nice so far. Like, we've got so much stuff watching our backs. This is the one interesting area.
No one's holding up from stairs.
Is he just gonna walk through the sensor? Breaks the sensor.
On C.
We smoke it up.
Smoke coming out from Poppy himself.
Drone is used to re-clear.
Off of that, GE, the idea.
Ooh, I wish he had gone deeper. He needed to go deeper with that. Actually clear Rebel. I don't know why he popped it so
It has
early.
now been the same as that previous round. Just ditch one of the sites. If they're on C, if they don't go for the fast hit, let's just ditch it. Maybe reset. Darion gets
Nice
another
pick from
peek.
Derek.
Should let you know that there was still a lot of presence towards that A site. So no further movement needed. You still have a sonic sensor to delay on B side as well.
And Crystal continuing to jiggle too. He's got all the utility and the Armageddon, so just kind of setting up for it. As soon as he hears a bit of a tell, and there it is.
Boy.
Armageddon sent out. It's all lined up for him. Still though, Governor tries to get underneath him.
Damn.
Able to strike against Crystal. Gets the second shot. No.
Okay, I was
Kelly
gonna say, there's no way we lose this round, right?
Going on the offensive in with the
There's
short
no
of
way
this
we
shot.
lose
He's
this
got it
round,
taken
right?
away. Tries to pull it up just ahead of time to hold. But 15 seconds left is all that
Yudo, what are you doing? Okay, good recovery. 7-5 half. 7-5 half. All right.
Characteristics work.
Why not run a Cypher in place of Vice? Because Vice is fucking insane.
Coming into this year, we praise him so much.
Vice is like the most meta agent Sentinel-wise on this map.
For that.
Okay, let's see what happened during our attack. How do we troll this so badly? I honestly don't remember.
Shoulders.
We needed more rounds on defense for sure than 5, but
Opportunities now.
I think we just didn't win any rounds on attack at all.
I mean, thinking about a lot of these sight lines, and Talon, a bit of attention brought over to the B site.
Yeah, it's just a full B execute ready, but here's the C's play. The C's need right off the pistol round. Okay, I like it, Talon. We'll see if it pays off. Getting a hard read, saying where else are you going to go?
Is
Rumble
Vito
fight's
going to
not
be
good
viable
for
in
them.
pro play?
Don't
Yeah,
see
I
them
think
in
so.
team out.
Okay,
Now the
Derek has
powder
no
just
contact, so
station.
this is essentially exactly how this comp is supposed to work. We've got our core, we've got our chamber. Chamber gets out. He doesn't get contested at all. He calls everybody back. We go to the site that Chamber's at.
Heck, it will get cleared away by Crystal from far distance.
Holds and yeah, nothing there. G playing safe enough. Comes back in just to try to do what they did on Split from before, right? A couple of taps in, maybe someone peeks out, maybe they find a shot through the Baron Mash that way, but
Okay,
Talon smokes it off to play safe.
they read that we're coming A a little bit early.
Drone as well. No tags just yet. There's the Sonic Sensor. There's the grab net ban. He wants to go in for the kill. He gets one. He's trying to play
So
it safe.
a nice
but he knows
net
he's
from
surrounded.
Ban.
Needs to try to get two. Oh,
Good
just
trades,
barely
we
got
get
to
in.
the headshots.
Still, yeah, just a bit of damage done nonetheless. Trying to
Use
hold
our
it.
salvos to clear the
That will be
site.
the spike for GE now.
Now we
Trying
just need to
play
play post plant.
upstairs with the Boombot. Governor will be able to get
Kind of
ahead.
unlucky
That's
timing.
cleared down.
Triple tree. I don't love the triple tree.
Surely
We're going to try and fight out, but we're going to get seized. Kelly goes out. The other two players stay.
It's a good flash to try to reposition here for GE.
It's a nice
They're
re-clear
trying to hold
from
on to Trey.
Talon.
Poppy gets taken down, but now both of them in the smoke. They have to separate on the site. Premi goes in. Brave spearheading the site. He catches the site of the last
Yeah,
member.
this was a
Crystal will
good
get taken down. It's a
re-clear by
full
Talon
wraparound
to come in from
retake here
behind.
Talon as they
being able to read the whole situation in kind.
Yeah, and I think a big one was that Boombot play from Governor, right?
I think we just didn't have quite enough space. Derek got a little bit caught up by the boombot. Okay.
For that retake, so opening things up for his team. Talon double outlaw.
Wow.
I don't mind it though.
You know they don't have mobility, right?
Yeah, they don't have mobility. They're not able to really force you off of those positions either, other than the magnetic salvos. So now you're just gonna try to snowball this 2 rounds in a row.
Oh, and there it is.
That's one. There's the Pinchos as well, and the push
Okay.
out. And
Kind of
Talon
unfortunate that we
says,
run into the
"No
stack,
way you're not getting into any
but
of these
pretty
sites."
standard for teams to go for the C orb on their pistol round or on their eco round. So good read from Talon.
Well, I mean, what?
And this round is
Trying to
over.
get a dit on Split,
Okay, very important round. First gun round.
the map they took in the very first map.
See how it can work out.
They try to spam us with the outlaw.
Wallbang opportunity.
Derek takes the space.
Hey, the Haunt
No,
recognizes that
2
zone, but
people.
he's here.
Wins the
Governor
first
takes a
duel.
bit of a
We like
risk.
that a lot.
I think just because of that first whiff, he got the tag onto Jaren. He wanted to stick to it, but not able to fully get it. But they are able to push him away.
We're in the middle of our C default.
From Rubble.
We haven't
And so
gotten
now,
any
GE, they have to work a lot harder to
sort of response anywhere else on the map. They push up here, so I think the call was to come back and re-clear this, which I don't know if I like. I feel like we should probably just be going at this point, but the call was to re-clear, so I think we're going to come back and re-clear, which
regain control of that. They
I
have
think
to
is going
use
to
Utah
make this
Combat
round
to really
potentially
reclaim
not
side
very
of A.
good.
And so look at the rotations. Talon now sending Jip Boys all the way back over to B and C.
And Global is tapping on those doors, you know, trying to bring some of the attention back over onto
Yeah,
the other
so
side.
we are going to come back and re-clear.
Just
We have a drone.
Cruise to hold outside of Rubble for now.
We decide not to drone.
Does tag Crystal.
Instead, we peek dry first, and then we drone, so we get
Yeah,
chunked
he still
down with
wants
2
to stick
people.
around, trying to work away from that stealth drone.
And then we don't really follow the drone correctly.
Yeah, he still wants to stick
We don't smoke anything off. Cruz plays super aggressive by
around,
himself,
trying to
which,
work
I
away
mean,
from that
respect.
stealth drone. Peeks right after it, he gets 2 with the
Somehow
drone as
kills 2
well.
people. And that's basically the end of our map.
Just insane value.
Kinda just the end of our map right there.
Trying to block off any further rotation. The spike should get planted, but Poppy, oh,
Poppy gets caught on a timing.
For extra
It's-
value. Now,
Again, I feel like our lurk timings were always just not very good. Like, this guy needs to go super late. Probably shouldn't be taking next contact. Should just be listening to see the rotations to let us know what's happening.
off of the outlaw into the ghost. Now,
But he
Baron
takes
Mesh
next contact, gets
block
caught
off
out in
any
the
further
open.
rotation. The spike should get planted, but Poppy, oh, we needed to stay alive for extra value. Now it's a 3v2 in favor of Talon.
Tried to catch him off in the rotations, but without the numbers, it just doesn't quite work out too well. Position not quite favoring him either, so down to it. Primi with the angle takes down Crystal. It's all up to Yudotan. Might be able to at least get one, but still into the sights.
Nice
Can
timing by
stand to
Yudo.
do all the work that is necessary.
Oh,
Continues
needed
to
that
hold out
kill.
Upstairs, but now he's smoked off. goes back to heaven. That's a little bit too clear. So dodges the flash and tries to re-clear through the smoke.
And
but does he know that Jitboy's is on the other side? He anticipates it, but the spike is
very nice
stuck.
split by
And
Talon.
He gets the round for Talon.
Very nice split by Talon there with
Goes
the two
for it.
players.
At the end of
So that's the first gun round. That's another bonus lost.
so much all throughout for sure.
And now we're in trouble. So we decided to go for some early B. Drone up, follow it up.
Tries to go for the quick B
Try and use the chamber as bait.
instead.
But there's 3 people here waiting for us. All right, now we're getting desperate.
Sneak into the A site.
Derek tries to make a play, finds one pick.
Create an opening on the B side, and it's going to work for the time being. Primi showing his back, but G just not aware of that timing just yet. But with this much time pass, I think Talon starts to just hold, right? There's no reason to start to go all the way towards A. Ban finds them as well. Oh, he takes a
Derek
fight.
wins another
Comes down
duel,
to
opens
Darian.
up the map.
That is gonna
What
be
a
creates
what a
that opening.
heroic round from Derek.
Still
But-
down to the one-on-ones. Primi will be able to strike back.
Primi
There's
catches
that
one.
Tries to go a little bit more aggressive alongside Jitboy's the flash.
Poppy
Will be sent
whiffs.
through. Primi gets his coup.
This
Unfortunate.
is not great either. But now
Really needed to steal that
Bring
round.
to the team, bring these agents. That suppressive fire.
Burn our last time out.
a little
See
bit
what the adjustment is.
of holding right by Root.
The adjustment is to go try an A fight. Let's try and A fight them. So you can see what our A fight looks like. Double missiles.
Let's play.
No deadlock net for some
Gonna
reason.
be the full rubble commitment and then
Flash
we'll
out,
alert.
scale.
Here comes the
Poppy
bait.
gets
There's
caught.
Jahan. Oh, Poppy wins
Finds
one.
one.
He knows he's in trouble. He
Finds
needs to get
two.
multiple. There's the shear to keep him alive. Oh, that
And we
buys
speed
him
up
so
into
much
A.
time and space. Cruz, he gets taken down as well.
Okay, nice
GE
response.
trying to
Big
turn
round from
things around
Poppy.
here, round
Good
17.
response to us to speed up onto the A site.
Being able to shoot them down. Pop.
Get the spike down, and this should be the round.
At least it all starts off.
Sensor for you.
Okay, pick up the operator. We're looking for op contact at A.
Your flanks. It actually keeps Poppy safe from the pinch. It's a good read from GE of the potential pushes out from Talon.
Yep, we get Derek out, so you can again see this is kind of how we wanted this to go. Chamber goes out. If they're fighting, cool. He can teleport out. If they're not fighting, then we can follow him out sort of like second phase.
Tries to push on up. Darren this time with a full operator.
Now with this, if they can try to push and pull around A, and then if they want to go for a rotate, they could even still go for a
Talon gonna
and
go
see
for a
pinch
re-clear
as well
fight
to
here?
take control B main, but right now Poppy already gives up that position. Looks like it's gonna be an
Ooh.
8 hit. Uh-oh, Darion and Kelly's kind of stuck there. That's a good paint shows right in the corner. Darion
no-
needs to open things up.
No response. It was almost perfect. Kind of unlucky on this timing, actually. Derek sees this guy's arm. He sees the knee, and he's waiting for him to re-peek. And just at this moment,
Looks like it's gonna be
they go for the paranoia. Like, half a second left on this paranoia. If he doesn't use it right at this moment, we get this pick.
Uh-oh, Darion and Kelly's kind of stuck.
Kind of an incredible
Paint
timing
shows
by
right in the
Talon there.
corner. Darion, he needs to open things up, but they're just not giving him an opportunity. Nightfall at the ready if they hear the
And
entrance
now we're cooked because we use the Vice ult in response. They've got a bunch of ults.
Still Garden was
We have no space anywhere. They've walled this off with their deadlock, and they're heavy stacked here.
Players from Talon on the A side closer to it anyway.
So this is gonna be tough.
Info does
Yep.
spot out Jitboys. So the
Uses the trip as info.
Tags him as well, all the way through the shrouded set, but it's behind.
Wait, what the fuck is this?
so the
Okay. Wait. Okay, so the trip catches him.
for info
Yudo ults off of this.
does spot out Jitboys.
Mid getting caught. Jitboys is gonna teleport. And because this is the old patch with deadlock, and he's too far away,
Oh,
for some reason this tries to pull him like it doesn't pull him back through here. It just gets stuck on the wall so he doesn't die. if this was the new patch, this catches him and he dies because like it'll just kill him. But very weird. So then they break the ult. They get a trade back randomly. How does this fucking hit this guy? What a crazy round this is. Okay, he shoots it off of this wall, bounces, catches Crystal. Yeah, total disaster of a round for us. Total disaster of a round.
Poppy left alone. 1v2. Can he shine? The clutch master. He hasn't had many opportunities today.
30 seconds left.
But this may be the most important one. Spike in range.
Does he win this? I think he might win this.
Boys' position already trying to throw him off.
So much to consider, but if there's any time to make it happen,
Maybe
1-on-2
not.
is the time.
No, I think he does win this actually.
Going for the quick sprint into the C site. From the shadows
No,
from
definitely
Chip
not.
Boys, though, in towards Mound.
Definitely not.
Got to go for that safe plant. But Chip Boy should give the information of exactly where this is. Cruz is ready for the spray. Poppy
Wait,
gets
no,
it.
maybe he does.
Chip Boys down to 36 HP. Poppy finally ahead in this clutch. 1v1. Going round and round. Chip Boys tries to smoke it off. Keep him guessing. Keep him locked in around the spike.
Yeah, I mean, crazy clutch from Poppy. Like, basically everything that could go wrong in that round did go wrong, and then Poppy clutches. But holy shit, was that expensive.
Only 4 apart.
As soon as the spike was planted,
Crazy clutch.
that's just
Crazy
Bringing
clutch.
them so many impact rounds. Week 1, now week 2.
Okay, we go back to the chamber walkout.
GE now ready for their own trap play here. It's going to be Yuta holding close, but there's the far range from Poppy once again. His shots have been good. I love that they trust in that. He's on
We need
fire
Derek
right
to
now
walk
here on
up
this
further. Sees them checking for info. I assume he's gonna
to see if there's any
call
sort
us
of push
back.
out. Is there a prowler, maybe even a showstopper all in?
Yeah,
from
nothing
Talon, just
C.
trying
We're
to
either
get
gonna go
point.
C here or we're gonna come back A for sure. Okay, come back A.
Nobody bites the bait.
Yeah,
Talon
no,
says
no
We're still
contact.
wait.
Derek says,
Right,
let's
we're not
go
taking
A.
Any of those extra chances.
so close to it.
Talon, because they saw our drone, is going to go stack the C site.
Bring them down.
So macro-wise, we're doing very well right now.
Now, only one gun fired, but it's still going to be
We wall ourselves off. Udaton, we wall ourselves off. What?
He's just going to hold on
Hello?
to smoke so you don't try to get extra reach off of this execute. Goes for a little bit of spam. The Poppy's already got the flank under control.
Okay.
Being able to watch that at the very
Poppy gets
least.
the kill.
Now with things being planted out closer towards main, they're able to hang back. Where Talon will be
Post plant,
forced
we
to
don't really have
through.
any space. Looks like Talon is just going to die to the spike,
Just
though.
given the guns.
And just lining up together.
So we'll skip through this. All right, 11 to 8.
Being match point now.
Showstopper still up.
Okay, we decided to go
This is gonna
for
be the big one for Talon if they want to try to secure match point.
contact B with the operator.
Rubble erased in favor of Talon.
C default.
NG kind of swaps on over onto the other side's
Derek gets into a good spot with the
side,
op.
but not quite finding anything too much. Just Darren marking the angle in with the op. while
Oh
the
my
rest of the
god.
team tries
How
to
does...
kind of push it down through the C site.
Here comes the pro.
Oh, huge whiff. Huge whiff from Derek.
Oh, it's a nice wide swing as well. Governor baits him in, knows it's going to be the re-challenge. That's a big
Damn.
kill. So much of the
Yeah,
map
that's
now
a big
given
whiff.
over to Talon. They have so much control. You still have Chip Boys holding on to Rubble. B main completely under their control
Yeah,
until
now we have
the
no A
leader comes
control.
in from
Got
Poppy.
no B
It's all
control.
up to Poppy once again, but for now the main force looking
We're
at
just
C
gonna
side.
try and burst C, but we have no duelist, so this is where the comp is totally fucked. This is one of the reasons why after this match we switched off of this comp, is because when we had to pop something, when we tried to force something like this, you just can't. You can't do it.
Through the smokes,
So-
and he's able to take the first shot.
This
Poppy's gotta win this
this
fight.
type of scenario is where the team lost faith in this
And
comp
look at
big
Cruz,
time.
He knows he just doesn't have to give up that kill, but meanwhile, Crystal tries to get one, but Kelly not able to get the trade. There's a showstopper to push them away. Lands right at Crystal's feet. And
Poppy
you
again.
had one clutch, but will they even give you the opportunity?
1v3
30 seconds
Poppy
left.
wins
Gets
one.
Spikes down. He has a chance. There's a not dead yet. They just want to draw
Yeah.
a ton.
This is good use of the ult from Primi.
Yeah, chance to open up the map even
All
more.
right, 12 to
Don't
8.
allow GE to start to regain
Ooh, Derek
control
gets
around
tagged
the map.
down by the
Darian takes a lot of
Odin.
hits this time, trying to weave in
That's
between.
tough.
Find you.
But
Right.
good aggression.
Vandal taken out, but you gotta imagine just the way that G's been playing.
But this is a nice angle from Governor. Yep, good read from Talon.
Setup from Talon.
And now we're in a spot where, again, we didn't get the opener. We're going to have to burst something, and we're playing a triple sentinel comp because our fucking coach made this comp with no ability to burst.
Here come the paint shells. Here comes the paranoia. The absolute chariot of Talon pushes through.
So, yep,
It's a tough
that's going to
setup
be
for
it.
all the last two players. I mean, running out of options, but still trying to keep themselves in the game. Knowing that there is that potential op that's kind of rotating over across the map. A bit of that deadlock utility on the C side as well.
I mean, yeah, what do you do to break this? Yes, you have the Cosmic Divide. It looks like they might want to use that, but there's no reason for Talon to budge. There it is. Premi gets ahead of it as well. There's the refresh on the smoke. Okay, not
Nice
fast
shot
enough.
by
Notice
Kelly.
gets it. The flash is ready. He antes it, but he turns just too
Nice
fast.
shot by
Gives
Poppy.
him the full
Good
flash.
take by Kelly and Poppy.
Now maybe a bit of an opportunity to get the spike down at the very least alongside the Cosmic Divide.
I cannot believe he just got that shot.
Pushes alongside the wall and gets the quick flick shot into
That's
Poppy.
ridiculous.
Ball down to Kelly, yes. Comes in with a shorty, but
And he hits another
Point blank
no-scope.
range, still makes it
Insane
happen.
way to end the map.
Closes out the map.
So,
There were a lot of questions from a lot of fans in maps 1 and 2. Why
that
is
was it.
Premi not on?
that was it. That was the end of Triple Senti. We never played it again after that. Were we wrecking teams with the comp? Yep, I can show you. We were wrecking teams with the comp. Here's our comp. Here's the initial version with the Sova. Here's the version with the Tejo. Like I said, we were 17-4, I think, with the comp. 14-5. We were 14-5 with the comp before we played it on stage. So we felt very comfortable on it. Didn't work out, and then we immediately threw the comp away because of what you saw there at the end, where trying to force stuff through a choke point with that comp is very, very hard. So we felt like it made the play patterns too difficult for us if things didn't go correctly, if we lost the first kills and stuff like that, which I totally respect. It definitely is a hard comp to play, but yeah, that was the Triple Senti comp. Like I said, the initial comp was supposed to have a Yoru. It was supposed to be Yoru instead of Chamber, but we just didn't have the ability to play Yoru. I think this comp probably functions a bit better with a Yoru, if we're being honest. And potentially, maybe the best version that we could have had would be a Yoru and an Omen. The Astra was very strong because of the global smokes and the ability to kind of combo and stuff like that all over the map. But realistically, this comp is probably the best version of this comp. If we had built it this way. May I ask if the pracs were played against teams that were playing to actually try to win? I mean, every team is trying to get something out of practice. So sometimes there's a few teams that would run drills where they would just exec 10 times in a row. But most teams are for sure trying to win. Especially in Pacific, the quality of scrims in Pacific is way better than it is in Americas. At least from my experience. It's been a while since I scrimmed in America, so I don't actually know what it's like these days. But back when I was coaching tier 2, tier 3 Americas, the scrim quality was really shit. And in Pacific, even the tier 3 teams are trying really hard. That being said, I will say that I think the scrim quality that we had as far as the teams that we were playing against early on in the year was not that good. I made a very specific point, especially for stage 2, of only booking scrims against teams that were difficult to play. And if we ever started kind of shitting on a team where we were 16-8ing them too many times in a row or something like that, I would immediately stop booking scrims against that team, and I would only book teams against teams where it was 50-50 basically. I'm curious. I had a scrim with Ascendant and Immortal, where the comp I made was Wild, but the other team were Chamber Merchants, so I had Harbor Viper Omen for entry, Cypher KO, and we won 8 in a row. I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of this game can be built around just building comps that people don't know how to play against, or comps that counter other teams' comps, but it's not something that people have really done very much of. And so most people just look for like one comp that is good, that's being played by a good team that you can copy. But I know, for example, like Frost from Talon is of the same mindset as me, which is that, like, if you know the comp that your opponents are going to play, you should probably build a comp to beat that comp, because you can absolutely counter how comps are being played by building a comp to beat them. But it also takes a lot of it takes a lot of extra time, and it takes very flexible players who are open-minded and willing to change what they're doing on a week-to-week basis. And currently, most players would much rather just drill the same thing over and over and over and get used to it, which I totally understand. But there is like a lot of room in Valorant for that type of approach, where like you basically just modify whatever you're playing to beat whatever your opponents are playing, in sort of like a rock paper scissors type of comp battle. But yeah, that is game number 2 of Kickoff. So at this point, we dropped to the lower bracket and we played DFM. And this this match will be what we stream tomorrow. So we'll finish up Kickoff tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Thanks for all the good questions. Hopefully that was informative. Hopefully you guys are learning some stuff about how the teams work and all this stuff. I'm enjoying doing this, so I hope you guys are as well. Tomorrow will be DFM versus Global, match 3 of Kickoff, and then we'll go on from there.